Welcome everybody, and
bring
to take it the other side. No,
bring them back.
Do party too hard this weekend. Do spend all those gains at the club with Fabian, and do you? Happy birthday, Fabian. He's just quiet, working hard. Didn't let any of us know that it was his birthday. Welcome everybody. The number one sector in the market is the market. No, I'm just joking. It's look, the market is doing a fantastic job today, and you know whether you're long, like Bitcoin broke 1,000, 100,000. Sorry if it was at 1,000. If it was at 1,000, then I'd be crying. We'd all be crying. Meta with new fresh highs, breaking out 52-week highs. The list of names with 52-week high breaks today, or all-time high breaks that we all know and love. Meta. Obviously, Palantir, a little bit of a shocker. Pretty much everybody that reported earnings. Amazon, who am I missing?
DocuSign.
Anyone. Lululemon, DocuSign. It's an unbelievable day. Although I cannot believe, this doesn't even make any sense to me, but really, GameStop, you're going to try to do this again just because it's the same time that it went yesterday? I'm not buying this one. However, I did pay for locates on AMC. This time, if this thing rolls over, I'd punch short anything. Actually, I didn't pay for locates on GameStop. I don't even know if AMC's running on this, but it makes no sense why this is going. But the market's strong. Bitcoin's at 100,001. Excuse me. The only things that are languishing that I can see are a couple of chip names. It was AMD and NVIDIA, mostly NVIDIA. AMD got dragged down by NVIDIA because even Intel got above VWAP at one point. So, you know, at the end of the day here, the market for the win, NASDAQ at the high. I think that's a great segment. We calling it the team trade or the midday trade.
Oh, yeah, I don't
know if there's a name for it. Do you guys need a name for that, Joe? The midday spy trade you guys are doing. Yeah, we need some names there. He's trying to come up with a name for it right now, but it's like putting it on us. I'm like, no, that's your thing. You guys got to come up with a name for it. I think it's a fantastic idea. That said, clearly the long worked. Will it continue to work? Only time will tell. But I'm not going long GameStop. I'm not falling for that trap.
All right, the most recent, welcome back, everybody. We're going to have a good afternoon, I'm hoping, here right now. Yeah, FXI. I see someone saying, yeah, not much happening there. Yeah, we're only looking at names that are actually moving around. Oh, Apple came into this 243 level. We were talking about it there since 1 o'clock. So we've been in this an hour. It's been a nice move up. So we're just starting to clean this up right now on Apple, getting out of it now. Only have a third left. Nice move to the high side, right back in. This is the trade that we're working with. We're still working with this NVIDIA short. Couple covers there. I thought I had some bids down here, but at the end of the day, $4, $5 there back in for NVIDIA and still going lower right now. Looking to get some more out here as we just rejected off the 200 period. So we're still short NVIDIA from the morning. Lazily about it, just a couple percentage points that we have on that account right there. And then the Amazon long hasn't done anything except for chill out up here. I have a stop order breaking through 224.50. If that winds up breaking, then we're out of Amazon. So yeah, just so far so good, man. The market's just been doing its own thing here this afternoon. It looks like it's going to just bounce a little bit around. We're still well away from VWAP. So I think dip buys into this area, probably what we're looking for, 21.6. 21,620. You know, we'll see about this 200 period, but yeah, we're long. That's it. We're long Apple and long Amazon, and then we've got our NVIDIA on our mind a bit here now as well. So that's that. And I know the rundown's going to be exciting. I mean, Bitcoin's at 101.4 right now, so 101,000 for Bitcoin. Nice movement. Palantir making moves today. I mean, I'm just going to be checking the scanners as we go and trying to find out some good opportunities for all of us. So far, so good here, but it's been an exciting afternoon. I'm about to go over daily speaking right now. Adara did a little rundown of all these different Fed members.
That's not how I pictured.
No, yeah, they looked very, very different than what we had potentially thought. All right, so let's go over to Sharif and get the midday wrap started.
Run. Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. Neil and Sean locked and loaded, ready to look at tickers as decided by you. So join Joe and I during the How to Trade show and get into the chat, but you got to be a subscriber and use the poll there and vote for your favorite tickers every day. 3 polls on today, 1 every hour. Make sure you check that out. Let's have a look at the major averages to start over here. Here is a look at the NQ. Last I checked, up 0.8, the strongest of all 4 major averages. You have the ES marginally green, up 0.15, and the Dow down 0.33%, the only major average red today, with the Russell up 0.25. So nice recovery for the Russell after being red multiple days this week. Let's have a look at the first ticker, though, as decided by you, NVDA. Tough day for today. No specific headline on this one, but there was this Amazon headline that they're halting the production of their Inferentia chip to take on Trainium and Trainium 2 being used by the likes of Anthropic and Apple. AMD also looking possibly to use some, oh, sorry, not AMD, Anthropic and Apple looking at using some of their chips. So yeah, NVIDIA selling off a little bit on that news, guys.
Oh, yeah, you had mentioned a little bit of a tough day there for NVIDIA. Not really. For me, very, very simple. We had it written down on our sticky note here today. The only short we had written down SMCI breaking 40. That didn't come into play. Intel didn't get up to 21.25, although maybe it is now. We'll have to look at that. But there it is, NVIDIA 145 short. I do want to look at that Intel to see what that short was. 21.25 for Intel. Just hold on a second.
Not really.
It's not there yet? No.
21
flat. Okay. But at the end, okay, so that's good. So I'm glad we didn't miss that one. NVDA. So this is, for me, the trade of the day, like I'm going to make the most amount of money on Amazon, but at the end of the day, I feel the best about this one. Amazon was just basically just a go, just from the beginning. We talked about how we had liked Amazon long there. What we did with NVIDIA was we had a nice trade. We had averaged into this short off the very first candle because we got into that 145. And what we had done was zoom sort of out here and say, all right, let's just say the 145 fails, which it did, and we continue to rip higher. Where's going to be our out? Well, this high rate from yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock was 145.50. So I said to myself, if we break higher than that, then we're going to punch out. So we, yeah. Man. So there's the short all the way down in. We wound up taking a little bit, 50 pennies maybe, then wound up losing that 50 pennies back in. Was not great. We let it fail. We got punched a little bit long there, got out for flat. Then we let it fail. Once we saw these negative candles come back in, we try to short that 145.50 area again, and that's exactly what we have on board right now. The short back in, that was cash. Make it back. We're flat on NVIDIA. Then we're like, hey, if we like to short in the space, why were we short? Because it was against the market at the time. NVIDIA was slightly red. The market was a little green. So I was like, you know what? If we like to short, let's just play again. So once, twice, thrice, boom. You know, we should have reloaded it right there. But, I mean, come on. The risk on this is 20 cents. Neil, this risk was 20 cents. This went down $4. So right there, you're talking about a monster risk to reward. We wound up capturing a lot of that. Some of our outs, 142.50, 142 flat, and now we're just starting to get a little bit more out, but we only have 4% left. So right now, NVIDIA, nice move to the downside. And congratulations to anybody that sort of followed the note there by going short this name, because AMD and Intel and all these other names did not do anything like this. We saw Broadcom. So we really picked the right one here. It's NVIDIA and the number 2 P&L name.
Great look on NVIDIA. I can tell you Intel did not get, I didn't trade NVIDIA today, but Intel did not get to 21.25. As a matter of fact, it's basically just been the 21 level over and over again. Then it goes back and forth and around and around. But there was one last press. I was actually talking to Obi about this one. The last press into 21 was the most annoying one because that's the moment that it looked the strongest. And that's, I got out, and obviously you're going to see it back down here. I'll be flat on it because of this trade. But ultimately, I think you got to think about things as it's a short till it's not. Like there needs to be some kind of proof that this stock is turning around, right? Like before, when you look at a trend like this, I think you got to lean toward the short. And at the end of the day, there's going to be a day when it bounces, and hopefully we'll be able to catch that curl. Maybe it'll be at $18.50. I have no idea. But it's absolutely looking nasty to said downside. Just only because I saw a few people commenting in the chat, little back and forth about GameStop. Regardless of what you think about the company, the fact that this catalyst makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't have, don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to, but the fact that it just spiked up because it's the same time that Roaring Kitty tweeted the day before, and we don't even know what he tweeted about, if you can structure a trade off that, I think more power to you. I'm going to stay in the same lane with this as before. Maybe look for like a mean reversion fade and not try to get trapped in that nonsense. I mean, I'd like to see some continuation on Bitcoin. Oh, we're going to talk about Palantir next. Okay. I was going to say, like, find something stronger and trending maybe that's, you know, a good trend to the upside. Palantir?
Yeah.
Another all-time high and another contract from Palantir today. We got news that Palantir and Booz Allen trading higher after announcing a partnership to modernize U.S. military operations and strengthen national security. Palantir obviously involved heavily with AI in the military. But guys, I got to tell you, Palantir keeps going any higher. It's going to get higher than Alex Karp's hair.
Relative to, yeah, hair to forehead ratio is pretty good.
I mean, 400 something %. I mean, this Palantir, from where we started here on PLTR, I mean, it is giving us some of those heart palpitations. You know, I mean, we've been wearing this hat from here. You know, we were not this one, of course, our Palantir hat. And it did all this during meme crazy. And I was like, are we ever really going to see this $40 again at any point? And then we came all the way back in. And then it was like, what exactly have we done? You know, what's going on with Palantir? It's all the way back in there. And you know what it does? It basically barcodes for about 6 months and just sits right there at the bottom. And then all of a sudden, it just starts to ramp up. And then it starts to do something. We got a lot of these things going on here. I like it. Yeah, and now it's doing a lot of things. And you can see just on the weekly, I mean, this is 1 week here, 41 to 57. The very next week, 60 to 65. We get a little bit stop and go there. Now you're going 67 to 76. But never fear, never fear. We're here. But more importantly, watch this. Look at Amazon's PE, 46. You know what's crazy? All right, Google's PE is 23. Okay, I'm going to leave that right there for everybody. It doesn't really matter. And look at PLTRs. This is according to our friends over at Trade Ideas, 349 right there. So yes, is it extremely valued at this point? Yes, appropriately valued, probably overvalued. The cash on hand, $5 billion. That's great. Market cap though, 160. Why don't they have the earnings date here? The 166 billion. Not much of a short float. EPS of only 10 cents. The numbers don't make much sense, but it doesn't have to. The stock continues to climb higher here. It's Palantir. It continues to work. I only talking about it more from a long term because I didn't trade it.
What was today. What did you say the PE was again?
350.
I didn't realize it was higher than ARMS. I actually thought ARMS was higher than Palantir's.
Well, it's because of where Palantir is. ARM is.
Yeah, ARM has. Yeah, that's the thing. ARM is pulled. That's the difference. ARM has pulled back, and yes, ARMS is 235. You're right. Before, I think the last time we would have looked at it a quarter ago, ARMS would have been probably the more insane of the two. Look, there was only, because I was determined not to take an even dollar breakout trade, I just took one dip buy into 75 quarter on Palantir into 76. It's not going crazy anymore, but there is a fail for me on Palantir because it actually set up a good kind of mean reversion trade, right? Where it's a trend up trade, makes a high break, and then trends back down, catches a bid, and then breaks trend here. Like, that should have been a long entry. And, you know, like, sometimes the better thing is to apply a good strategy, like a mean reversion strategy. You can pull that in on a trending up stock for a mean reversion when it's dipping and it's still holding trend on the higher time frame. That's a great look. Palantir looking fantastic. You know, we'll see. I mean, actually, I was going to say, like, there will be a time. That's right. This chart's not going to. I want to pull up a higher time frame chart here. There will be a time, and we say this with stocks that are making bottoms and it'll eventually go up. There'll be a time that it pulls back. Like, it's probably worth it at some point on this latest move up to start tracking when it breaks a trend, and then the day that it opens underneath the trend, maybe look for a short that day. You know, I think it's getting to that point where it's going to start to make sense to do that. But who knows? Like, it could, I don't know, it could be 82, it could be 97, it could be 88, 88. Like, I have no idea. I think maybe just put a trend on the daily and then the day that it comes in and decides to open underneath that trend, look for a short on it. Until then, favor the long side on a stock trending long and look for long setups. And you shouldn't be able to go wrong that way. The same way Intel's a short till it's not. This is kind of one of those like longs till it ain't. I'm going to repeat myself.
Exactly. I'm not covering any of my position. It might seem a little silly not to do that, but we're gonna hodl some more on Palantir despite its valuation. I mean, until it slows down. So, all right, what's up, Sharif?
Bitcoin guys lost 100,000 during the afternoon show yesterday, but the bleeding didn't stop after the bell. It continued dipping as the day went on, almost dropping into that low 90s area, but it was a really short-lived drop. It reclaimed that $100,000 level, above $100,000 right now, and that has some of these analysts on CNBC basically saying that they believe the $100,000 breakout is the real deal. I guess time will tell, guys.
Oh, the guys on CNBC believe that? Oh, that's so good. Oh, thank God they believe that on CNBC. I don't know what I would do if they thought the other way around there. No, with all kidding aside, I mean, what are we supposed to do? I mean, crypto just keeps on going one way. I mean, you had that flash crash yesterday down into 92,000. Well, now you're up 10% from that at 101 and change. What I think just remains the truth. And we actually even wrote it down today on our sticky note. You can go look at it if you want to. We wrote down, watch the 200 SMA on a 1 minute chart. Look at that. There it is there. That's your long. 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 And we're not long. So, I mean, all we have to do is, and hopefully someone else is following what I'm writing down, all we have to do is just go by what we wrote at 7:30 or 8:30 this morning, and it was pretty simple. So I just want to keep following those kind of things. There, IBIT, here it is right here. Watch out the 200 period, 1 minute, looking to scalp off, like, it's written out perfectly there for IBIT. So we'll just continue to watch it. Ethereum going, right, 4,050, great stock there. ETHE over on the Amex. We don't give enough love to this. I mean, those of you that are still trading ETFs with crypto, this is going to be a good one. I'm not sure what is the highest volume name in this space particularly, but right now 5.5 is pretty good. IBIT will be a lot more than that, I'm assuming today. Yeah, 33. So no doubt about that. But this continues to climb higher, and there it is, man. There's the break, 4,000. We hadn't seen 4,000 since the inception here, switching over symbols. So nice movement on Ethereum, up 6%. I mean, everything turning up crypto right now. So, again, congratulations if you've been long anything.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Yeah, it looks like everything. We saw a Simpson episode yesterday where Millhouse shaved his head and looked like his dad. I don't know what season it was. Watch it with the kids. It was kind of funny. He was walking around on paint cans and fooling people about that. But all right, so just real quickly about Apple. Apple did make a move down there. We did get something out on Apple. I'm going to take another piece right now. See, it broke the 50 period and got out there. Now I'm just realizing here that, again, what I'm trying to do is focus on a few positions rather than just going sort of everywhere with a whole bunch of different ones. Like this just came up to view up, and I just realized I did not have an offer there. So I might just I'm going to punch out. There we go. So we actually punched out there, and you can see what just kind of happened right there on that punch out. So there it is, man. Some out there, 243.44. As soon as we did it, we just went downside a little bit. Let's see if the future's can hold it back, and we'll see about another out up here in the 40s. But just getting some more out of Apple, wanted to let everybody know.
Before we move on, hey, it's the last day of Trade the Pool stock trading competition. After 5 intense days of trading, now it all comes down to these final hours. Let's take one last look at the leaderboard where, as you can see, I'm showing you the bottom. We'll scroll on up and see who is in number 1 place. Day Trade with Tony. What up, Tony?
What up, Tony?
Tony out of the Philippines. 97K, best traded symbol.
Tony, can I borrow some cash?
ZJK, obviously.
96,000.
Of course it is. If he stays here, he's going to win an evaluation account of 160K in buying power to trade with. In second, we got Omar Trades out of Egypt with a P&L 76,800. He was trading CTOR. He can win an evaluation account of 80K in buying power. And Thong's a thang. There you go. It took me a second. I'm an old man. What do you want from me? Out of Australia, this is tight. 75.6 on RKDA. So looks like that's a pretty close battle for second and third. He can win an evaluation account of 20K in buying power. Will they hold their positions, or will someone make a bold move and shake up the rankings? Every trade counts, and the race to the top prize has never been closer. Tightly bunched group at the top. Hey, there was some love for Canada as I was looking down here.
There's 3 Canadians, no?
No, there's more.
Oh, there's more now.
Hassan Ali in 15th out of Canada. We got Alexander in 17th out of Canada. And hey, we're Canadian, so I'm going to say it. We got Soraya at 42, great number. And we got Ayokunle, I can't pronounce, I'm sorry, at 47. And then Muhammad Ali in 50th. So we got a bunch of Canadian content. Shout out to everyone in that competition. There's still a few hours left. Can you find a crazy runner? Maybe you can. But just one last thing. So
I wouldn't risk too much money. I mean, that's all real money, no? I don't know what's going on. Is that is it? I don't know. Or is there, I don't know what. I
don't think it is real.
No, I think it may be just their trading.
It's their trading evaluation.
Try to get up to there. Okay.
Which I think is why you're seeing, like when you see something like SNTI or ZJK, like you get one good pop on that.
Right.
Which is why it's hard for those at the top. It's you maybe make 1 or 2 trades in there and you have a chance. But if you're trying to go from bottom to top with only an hour to go, you really need to find a big runner.
John F.
Shout out to John F.
Oh, yeah, there it is. John Fleischman.
Hold on a second. Let me
Mr. Fleischman is in the building.
We've got John Fleischman out of the U.S., 55K. Let's go. All of a sudden, okay, everybody. Look, I have nothing against everyone out in 1, 2, 3, 4th, and 5th place. But John, we got to find you something that's going to get you that extra 20 that you can take a shot on.
I think it's not live.
Best
who knows? Maybe John's even higher than that.
Well, that's the thing. We don't even know. Like those aren't live updates. It's just what we have. So we're going to go back over to shoot a quick second. Look, the only thing on iBid is I didn't get the 100K break. I actually sat back down at my desk after it happened, and when it did, just look for the normal types of continuation setups. Like it broke 100,000 right in here somewhere. I think we said 56.8 to 57 is somewhere where 100,000 works out to, and it just flew. But it consolidated. There's a bottoming tail wick. There's your hold at 57.30, long at 41, and I'm still in it looking for a 58 break. There might be some support now at 57.5, so if we pull back down there on iBit, I'd look to reload. But let's have a look at a SpaceX play in DXYZ. That could be the kind of thing with some juice to run late in the afternoon, and you could get a win on there, John. No? Yes?
Who?
It's been on a tear lately, Neil. Certainly today up over 22.33%. Destiny Tech 100. Just learned the name of DXYZ right now, guys. Fantastic look. It's been very strong lately. Today, running up on this headline, looks like SpaceX is getting the U.S. contract to expand Ukraine's access to Starshield, reports Bloomberg. Obviously, Destiny Tech 100 has exposure. I'm told it's about a third of their portfolio holding on to SpaceX shares in the private market.
We always get questions about this DXYZ, and there was, a report, first of all, out some more Apple right here at view. Apple just goes to 50, we get that fill right there. So we're taking another piece out of Apple. We only now have that 10%, about 15% left right now of Apple. So we're almost out of that one. A nice little reload there, pay for this Timmy's coffee, and then get going. So DXYZ. Thing is, as we just mentioned there, SpaceX got awarded some contract here this afternoon. So you see DYXZ, right? Destiny start to move to the upside. So a great level there. It's hard to say what this thing is worth because again you have all the funding rounds and I'm not sure what their percentage of SpaceX is or what their valuation is and where do they hold it. It's not like they have it. I mean, they probably have it listed somewhere. You got to go find out. But for me, I mean, you just got to try to trade what you see. And right now, breaking that 51. I mean, there's nothing else up here. You can keep on going. This was just a blowout right there up to 116. If it happens again, it happens again. The short float on this thing, as we'll just check it, DXYZ right here. We'll see the short float. go over to this side, so it doesn't even have it listed on trade ideas, but we'll get a better look at that. Up 58% in the last couple of days. I mean, I like the stock. I think it's worth it if you want to dance with some of the names that are in here. Do your research. Again, like it. I always think that whenever something's up this much, you got to play the same old record, right? And that's the 200 period and VWAP. So right now, play the longs back into here. But for me, it's not really my cup of tea per se. But again, it's a good name, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like that's like a, we were just literally talking about John trying to win the competition. Like
that might be the one.
Yeah, like it's in that type of a bucket, but it cuts both ways because you're equidistant from VWAP to the high of the day, and you're diddling in the middle here. So like that's kind of one of those. I would never play a coin flip like that. Right? But like, do you think you're going to sit here? Like you're probably going from 62, 63 to either VWAP or to the high of the day from this range. But I think it's, like I said, that's not a coin flip that I'd be looking to make. I looked and I've been mentioning the ARC venture and I couldn't find anywhere that you can trade that public. You can invest through it, the ARC venture, through like, I know you can do it through SoFi, definitely. And obviously there's ways to do it, but I couldn't find it as tradable. So maybe that's why DXYZ gets all of the love trading, because we don't have anything else public here we can pull up and get access to SpaceX. So it's an interesting look. It's not something that, like I would want a piece of SpaceX. I don't know enough about the valuation here, how much they hold relative to blah, 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 to know if it makes any sense at this price. I'm guessing the way it moves parabolically, the answer is probably a no. So good luck trading it. No questions asked. Oh, no, Palantir. Okay, we're about to talk. No, man, it just
up 7% again.
Okay, and once again we are canceling a bid because it just continues to go. Like it's not really. The second it looks like it makes a bottom and you try to get the higher low, it just starts to shoot up. Like aggressive candle make it the high of the day again. So now that it's breaking the high, I'll look for the next consolidation and we'll go talk about SMCI.
Super micro, I'm going to say it. It's got a super day. Good recovery off the worries that it was going to get delisted. It's been recovering all week. Another 7 1/3 today, guys, at $44 1/3. There's no specific headline on this, guys, but the special committee that they did hire to investigate the allegations made by Ernst & Young that there were fundamental accounting practices. It found no such problem. However, the new accounting firm that they did hire, BDO, still hasn't verified the committee's findings. So we're still kind of in the limbo. Still no word as well from the NASDAQ whether or not compliance has been met. But hey, they're still trading and they're up over 7%.
Yeah, SMCI continues to be. I just got out of some more NVIDIA, by the way, so we only have about 2%, less than that left right now. NVIDIA just breaking back above, as we'll watch out for Apple as well. But NVIDIA right now seems to be the one for us. All right, so SMCI. I looked at it this morning. We wrote it down on the sticky note. The reason why I didn't trade it is because I was looking short. If I was looking long, I'm sure we would have been in this. Look at this 200 period again right there today, really working itself out. Yeah, I was looking at it for a 40 level break down. So if you're going to go into right here, this was yesterday. I was just thinking like, hey, if the market's going to head for the downside, now we get that payrolls number, the market starts to head up. So we should have switched up our mind then. But I didn't know if this 40 level was going to hold. I have to actually look at a different chart because our charts still don't show the split adjusted on that. Let me just call this up just so I can show you the shelf that I was looking at right there. It's just right into here, this $40. So it just kind of goes back. It's like $39.75. But if we had lost this again, then I was thinking we could probably get into sort of this 36 area. Whoa, where did we go? Right into here, which was the, thanks, sorry, I should have moved it over. The 50 period moving average. So there's 40. I thought we could get a nice little drip back into that. Didn't happen. I was going to see if it was going to hold. Didn't even have a chance to that today. So SMCI does not go to the downside, and it actually goes completely ham, basically, to the upside. It's true. What is this, Palantir's brother here? Another 7.5% to the upside?
Whoa. Hold on a second.
Well, just on the day.
Okay.
Just on the day.
All right.
Come on. Palantir unmatched. But yeah, nice move there. I think the 200 period in question. We're short NVIDIA. So it looks like SMCI is going to be the winner one more time here. But I would be short 45. If we go for a little bit of a run today, I like the short 45.
I was about to say mean revert on this thing. Well, I am going to say that. That said, to complete that, well, not to complete the thought because you already said it. It's a good consolidation here above that prior high, and it works on the daily. They call it the 39 to 40 with the resistance at 45. So it's a good consolidation that has yet to break out the top. And I feel like it's 46 that has to break, not necessarily 45. But when I say mean reversion, I kind of, like, it already did this. So, like, it's kind of already, if you look at the day long mean revert, like it's now holding underneath. I mean, this to me looks like it's a short to 44, to the lower high, 44.60. So first things first, I promise you, if we have to pay, I didn't pay for locates. So I got to go grab some locates. I know I checked to see if we had them for free here at Real Trading on SMCI, but I knew that I hadn't paid for locates. But it has broken trend. I mean, the short in 44.30 makes a heck of a lot of sense. It's going to be cheap because I know it was cheap the last couple of days over there on SMCI. Palantir is sort of pulling back off the high of the day. It's not a huge one, but it is starting to come back in here. Let me hit save so that trend line doesn't completely go away. But PLTR, this could be the first available dip since it just broke that high of the day. We'll see where it decides to settle in. You never really know exactly where it's going to settle back in. Like, does it come all the way back to 76? I mean, we'll find out. Does it come back into 76.25? I think both of those are perfectly valid. But it's the next available consolidation on Palantir. I got it up. We're locked and loaded, ready to go. I don't know if we'll get IBIT back at 57.5 again, but SMCI mean revert. Oh, I have to hit accept twice. That's right. Our pay for shorts, Real Trading, they make sure that you confirm that you want them. So I just did. And of course, it might already be too late. I'm not going to chase that for sure. We just got Yomo Shikito just said, is Intel turning red? Of course. I bet you. Yeah, I shouldn't chase this SMCI. VWAP, it's already halfway to VWAP. That's not a chase for me. I just hit enter Intel. There we go. That's better. Oh, I mean, Intel just came down like 10 pennies or so.
New high.
Again, it's such a look at it's a tight range on Intel. You know, so if you're not getting short right at the top at 21, it's just not worth it. Like, the entire reason I'm flat instead of up is because I tried a short that wasn't 21. We got to wait for 21 if we're going to take it, and we'll just keep a little bit of focus here on PLTR and SMCI, which are definitely moving.
Yeah, wow, that Palantir new high of day, absolutely unbelievable, that stock, I'm telling you. Okay, so good outs there on NVIDIA, Apple. So I just want to give everyone a heads up on this. When we talked about this, we have about 5 to 10% left of this position, not even that much left of this position. I'm going to get more at this very bottom. I'm going to let it break. I think it's going to break 243, so I'm going to give it a chance. If it wants to break it, we'll see. Hopefully it breaks back into 243, back down, see you, Sharif. 240, 290. Just trying to find out where the stop would be, right? So a little bit lower than that, 242.85 or so. We're going to see if it breaks back down below, as we're not super excited to reload this position because, again, we talked about the futures before. We started at 2 o'clock, we started this, and I was like, we're probably going to come back in and have a look at least somewhere near the futures, somewhere near VWAP. When I was saying 21.6, it looks like we got to 21.610 right there, and now bouncing back to the upside. So we'll have to wait to see if Apple will give us that trade or not. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else moving around here. DraftKings went to VWAP. DKNG. Let me just.
There was news on DraftKings this afternoon.
Was there? Maybe that's what it was. There was news on it. Okay.
Oh, so, let me. I'll get the headline.
Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, it looks like there was big. It wasn't even this afternoon. There was DraftKings here. I mean, Derek can probably knows what this is. Yeah, no problem. 45.50 for this dump down in there for. Wow, that would have been a. And I'm trying to get into this name on DraftKings. Like, that would have been nice. Look at that on that. Report, whatever, we'll get in a second.
It was senators ask FTC to look into DraftKings and FanDuel's behavior.
Ooh.
And there was actually a quote here. Senator Mike Lee posted on X, we can't allow online gambling companies like FanDuel and DraftKings to violate antitrust laws, especially as more Americans grapple with the effects of this industry on our society.
Right.
So, that was the move down. I actually was interested. Remember yesterday on Robinhood? It was Robinhood entering into gambling was yesterday, I believe. Or the interest. Right, like remember, so Robinhood was the rug pull of the day. Well, okay, that's not necessarily true because no, Uber probably had the biggest down move yesterday. So let's call Uber the rug pull, but then Robinhood was a close second, if we're going to call it that. And it's trying to fill in the gap. Like technically speaking, look at where resistance was on the way down after that flush at the open, right at about 40.80, and then look at where it ends up bouncing. Like this is the kind of thing where, look, I wasn't even looking at Robinhood today. In a million years, I'm never having that trade because you have to be watching it in the moment. But when it gets this spike and you're like, oh, where am I going to get into it? When in doubt, zoom out, maybe not that far, but when in doubt, zoom out, find where there was a key price level. And when it pulls back in and shows you that's good, well, you don't have to trust it the first time. You could just trust it the second time. When it's already shown you this is valid and you can be in this at like $40.88 or $40.90 for a nice pull up, and then you put your stop tight to that maybe 75 level. That's the kind of thing you're looking for when it comes to edge, where you get confirmation that a level that was already obvious stays obvious, and then you get to join the trend to the upside. So, good luck for anybody if you happen to be in Robinhood. I can't think of a reason why I would have been looking at it today, to be honest with you. But if you happen to catch it, congratulations. If you happen to catch Palantir, it's trying to dip now, so this might be an opportunity. You never really know how it's going to go. It's only pulled back, what is that, 10 cents? 15 pennies off the high? But the prior high here was 76.40. So that's the first place I'd look for a curl. The second would be down in and around 76. So let's see what happens over here on Palantir. I mean, 76.40 or 76 even, maybe even the quarter mark, but it's got to show me a little bit of a curl, then we'll have to go long back into the high. The trend is unbroken on this thing all day.
Yeah, wait for a pullback on that at this point, 236. All right, we have a new position, so wake up. Wake up, everybody. We took that DraftKings. I mean, I just was looking at this here. We do have the 200 period here on the 5-minute chart. Came right up to it. I mean, it's at that $45 mark. So I don't mind it. I was going to give it to 45.10. So just sort of where we were before this drop, a level that was sort of supported. If we're going to get back up into that area, fine, we'll get stopped out. I think the risk to reward on this is well worth 10 cents. Or I guess if we get out at 10s and we're short here at 92. I do have another, so the reason why I say that is I do have another offer that I'm trying to get shorter near O's. So if we do get that, then, be fine. But with about a 10 cents or 15 cents worth of risk, let's see if we can get a nice little pullback here. So target area, right? I mean, sure, we went 20-1 on our NVIDIA trade and even more probably on the Amazon trade. At the end of the day, though, like back into the 200 period would be great. That's 50 right there for DraftKings. And I'm even thinking that right into here is a decent spot to clean out a little bit too, into 75s. So that would only put this trade like, basically if you can take on this 20 cents versus 20 cents worth of a loss, I think it'd be worth it. But right now, DraftKings, despite that negative news, it's come all the way back up there. So let's just see if it wants to hold the day, especially if the NASDAQ, it's up right now. But if we do have a problem with the 200 period, I mean, we could go right now and scalp off of this and trade with the TQQs. But I'm going to just short DraftKings, watch out for Apple, keep short on NVIDIA, and now hold out to see what DraftKings wants to do at some of these levels. So that's going to be an idea for me right there, DKNG, up at those levels. Yeah, we talked about Uber yesterday. I mean, I did not jump in there and buy anything, obviously, at those lows. I mean, it's not even that much lower right now, or yesterday where we are. We're only up 1%. It's not like it bounced huge. Whoopsies, I just closed that chart, but I think I just minimized it, so we're all good. Yeah, it still has a ways to go here, Uber, before we get to where we were yesterday. That's that low just before the close of 64.25. So that's still a while away. Yesterday's actual closing price on, I guess, a big imbalance looks like to the bid was about 65.50. So that's almost to the penny where we closed off that bottom tick there around noon. So that could be another buy area, 65.50 there for Uber. So we'll wait to see if we can get an opportunity for any of those names. But yeah, I'm waiting to see if some stocks want to wake up as well. Hopefully we can get something going. We're just short DraftKings. We already have our Amazon out. If I was thinking about Amazon breaking this shelf, right here to get out. We're $4 in the money, but right into there, if we break below that, then fine. But if the market wants to continue to go higher, I mean, why can't Amazon get back to 225.50s, which is another 50 cents from here? That would be a decent out as we hold this one all day. So Amazon right now working for the long side. So just a couple trades, but our newest one, is DraftKings, which is 5 cents in the money. We'll see.
Good look there. And Franz, there was a decent sized candle on Hood. I wouldn't necessarily call it huge. It pulled back about 30 cents or so there. And no worries on the reply, Alex. You know, we love everybody in our community, and to the best of our abilities, we try to answer your questions and engage with you. If you want to be in the chat, just remember it's a subscribers only chat. So hit the subscribe button. Make sure you do that. Pass on to your friends. And, you know, everyone's just sort of here to share knowledge with each other and improve all of our trading journeys. That said, where was this question? AirX, besides the CEO, why is Intel so low? Their CPUs are the most used. We probably go the rest of the show talking about the things that have cascaded for them. Whether it's falling behind in technology, where you were essentially multiple generations ahead in terms of, you know, when at one point when other firms were working on 5 nanometer, they were just barely cracking on 7, and when everyone's working on 3, they're finally getting to 5. Their data center business years ago got surpassed by AMD. Their margins have been in the crapper for quite some time. They decided to make a strategic pivot, which I actually liked, to try to battle not just TSM, but Samsung as well in terms of their fab business. That ended up being not only costly, but then 2 years behind schedule in turning profits. And that was a big push. And it was a big push during the time when the push was for AI. And so that's one of the things Gelsinger pushed for at a time where there was another thing that probably was going to be more important and it ended up being wrong. So, and you can probably find an analyst out there that'll tell you some better reasons than that. Like, you could probably wax poetic for a while, but that's, I guess, the long and short of it. Therefore, Intel and Palantir, like, it does.
Got to get in, man. That's it.
It's hilarious. It makes the wick. It is what it is. I missed it again. It's a little frustrating. Bitcoin is trying to break out to the upside. Wow, Palantir. It's
6.
Unbelievable. Bitcoin's at 101. You see 6?
Yeah. That's what I have on my screen.
Okay. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter whatever. If you're on Binance or on TradingView, they might be off by $100, but you're approaching the top. We're about $100 from the high that we made on the 100 break. So, yeah, I can just show IBIT. That'd be the easiest thing. That Palantir is just a continuous rocket ship.
Yes, sir.
But here it is on IBIT. Maybe I'll show you a 3-minute chart. We're right at the top, which is 58.05. I see 05, but my level 2 says 06. Doesn't really matter. But you're right at that top. This might be a little bit easier to buy some dips into. If we sustain a breakout of the high, look for a consolidation. We're not going to get 57.5 again. I think we're probably, we're done with that. Unless we get a pullback right now that's deep into that 57.5. So strong move here, continuing on Bitcoin. I kind of feel like we're going to hold on to this 100,000 level in the time being. It's looking a heck of a lot better. And your name is pronounced Eric's. There you go. So every now and then I'll read the chat and I'll get it wrong, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's all good. Right there. Okay, we'll just go Sirens again because now we're 10 cents in the money on DraftKings. So again, our newest position. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not rocket science what we're trying to do here. We found the name, we went short, and the rest is history. Let's just see if it can make positive history to the downside. We said that we'd be lucky enough to get some 75s. So I'm going to bid some 72s right now. I don't really know why. What is that level? That's still 75. We should bid some 75s. But nice move down there for DraftKings. I mean, obviously the 200 period is starting to curl up. I mean, 44.65 would be a dream if we can get that. That'd be nice. Okay, well, a little bit one right there. We'll go like this, just a little bit. I mean, we're trading here. Okay, I don't know. I'm just going to see if we can just top it off here a little bit. If Apple can get back up here into the teens, into the O's, then we'll take a little bit more out. But there's a print at 95. We took some there. Let's just see if there it goes. Okay, So that's another dime. Here it goes a little bit more. Okay. We'll just maybe we'll take another piece out if it gets back up into that area of 08s again, and we'll take some more out. But there it is. There's another reload for us. So that seems to be coming out okay for us right now on that Apple reload. Amazon now, man, continues to go. This is the play that we're wanting to hold on to. I think you could do that. We'll hold on to this now. I'll put an offer up here, $25.50. Hopefully we get that. If we do, then wow, good for that. But for right now, I like it. I like the stock. Amazon continues to climb a little bit higher off that. The spiders, everything's at like a tipping point right now. Like, I mean, the NASDAQ, the S&P, everything. If you are a spiders trader here, let's rock. Let's see what's going on here. So SPY. So the reason why I'm saying this is like, look at these bottoms right here. If you're going to look at it, the NASDAQ's trying to bottom. Here's SPY right now as well. And again, you're going to have banks, more financials in there. You talk about consumer discretionary names leading the way today. SPY at this bottom level of 607. Now looking like it wants to get back up, taking out to 50-period moving average. I mean, that's good, especially the fact that we didn't really get too close. Come on, Apple. You can do it, man. The net's trying to go here. If Apple can go, that'd be nice. But anyways, there's the 200 period on the NASDAQ. If we can just scalp a little bit, get through there, then get higher, that would be good. I don't think it's a scalping play. I think it's a break and then a hold back to the high of the day. But again, the market's one of those things, man. You're kind of playing with fire with only an hour and a half left, but no earnings later on today. Join myself and Adara with Raider Trader for the market recap, where we'll go over some interesting ideas. Raider has promised to give us some key market insights. All right, over to the desk.
This part of the show is brought to you by Firefly. Firefly Neuroscience is revolutionizing brain health with cutting-edge brain network analytics, powered by the world's most comprehensive EEG database. This technology provides precise insights for treating cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, as well as traumatic brain injuries like concussions. With FDA 510K clearance and CE mark approval, Firefly is paving the way for a future where brain health is clear, accessible, and personalized. Back to you.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that, Adair. We always talk about that. It's very, very important stuff. We want to thank them for coming through. All right. So just real quickly here. All right. Same kind of play on Apple. We're waiting for 08s. There it is. It just comes in right there. Let's go, man. That is another one. Make sure everyone's having some glasses of water or whatever right there as well. But it is another one brought to you, of course, by Apple. Nice move to the high side right there. All right. So let's just keep going there. NVIDIA now $3 in the money as that's coming right back in as well. Amazon now $4.50. It's trying to go. So here goes Amazon. I actually canceled that offer right now. Let's see if Amazon can get going, man. $4 in the money off of this big play. Hopefully, we're hoping it can be even bigger than this on AMZN right now, waiting for something to come through on that one. Our DraftKings, I don't know, man. We only got out at 10% down there, 410 said. So we'll have to wait to see as the market's going for a little bit of a jog here. So yeah, we are getting excited. It is a nice move for the market, and it's a nice move back in right now. So, or to the upside right now. So I don't know if DraftKings can hold out for this, but if it does, we're here for it, and we'll try to trade some DKNG to the short side. But right now, Amazon singing. Apple, oh boy, right now, fire off those. Wow, this is going to be a good one there. I'm going to get some more out. We did not expect this kind of a move on Apple. So there it goes, man. Look at that. We're reloaded. Wow, okay, that even looks better on the chart than it does in the blotter right there. So it's a good little one there for us on Apple. So there it goes, man. I hope you guys had that one with us or with me as well. Good little trade there for AAPL. So far, so good here this afternoon as we be very, very patient, have a great time, and put on some winners for everybody.
Yeah, there you go. Great look over there. And I see people watching Amazon. CELH, I'm probably not going to trade, but if you're into it, congratulations. BTC, we just made a high of the day break on Bitcoin without much follow through and on relatively light vol here. So it did come over under. I want to see that volume pick up. All right, we're gonna take the top on Palantir. So we've moved up on Palantir. I'm not waiting for 76.5 again, the last consolidation. I don't want to, if it goes to $77, I don't want any part of a 77 break on Palantir. The same way I didn't want any part of a 76 break on Palantir. It is what it is, a 75 break. I think that was kind of a bamboozler. Like you would have won if you just held it all day long on the 70 break the other day. But I want to stay far away from that bad boy. Tesla pushing the high of the day? No, I don't think it is. I just saw Jay Randolph saying Tesla pushing the local high maybe. But I guess if you're talking about since the open, fair enough. Yeah, if you're talking about since the open, Tesla is like 60 cents away. If you're talking about where we were in the pre-market, we were almost at $379 on Tesla, close to that all-time high. We are a little bit, but yeah, high of the day, not yet on Tesla. It definitely has a chance. I just don't think it's going to do much of anything. It doesn't have a chance to get there anytime soon. I'm going to play over on Palantir, like we said, and I'm not chasing. I've gone away from that SMCI. The short opportunity, you had to already have the short, that short mean reversion back into VWAP. So if we stay on trend with Palantir, great. If we break it, I want to be out waiting for like a 76. And I'm going to be talking about not here, but the last trend that we just put in, right? So the one where we broke the high of the day, this is what's going to end up mattering. Can we hold on to this trend on PLTR? IBIT's going to be a different story. Because what I'm looking for, I'm still looking for the dip to be able to give us a playoff of a higher low. Otherwise, consolidation and break out the top. I don't mind taking a break on Bitcoin. I mean, the high is 103.5, and we're at 101.7 on Bitcoin, or 101.6, I should say. We actually just pulled back a little bit. Yeah. We're at 101.6. So there's plenty of room if we're going to retest yesterday's high, and I don't mind taking a consolidation off the top there. D-Loaf, that's why people are talking about CLH. You spoke to Brian Shannon about it this week. Here.
Oh, Celsius Holdings.
D-Loaf in the chat here. We spoke to Brian Shannon this week about CLH. Caught an upgrade today and was up 10%. Now at closing print, what?
Up
very
10%.
Ugly. I see what you're saying. Okay, I got you.
What's he saying?
It basically, that's nasty. So here's what happened on I didn't realize this happened on CLH, guys. Yuck. So it broke out through yesterday's high, failed 30, and then right back into the bottom at the close. But the stock is, sorry, I hope nobody got caught in this on that kind of a move. The thing about chasing these breakouts before they've broken out, it's a tough business to get into. Look at the 50 period on the daily. Like essentially it just, how many times has it popped into the 50 period and failed, popped and failed, popped and failed, popped and failed, pop, like 3 days in a row, and failed at the 50 period moving average on the daily. When in doubt, zoom out. Like I think, a lot of times we want to catch the bottom, but if you try to catch the bottom on a bad stock or a stock that's trending down, you just end up getting burnt, right? So when it closes above the 50 period, I think that can be a better time to get in. When there's buyers above this level as opposed to sellers at this level, I just think it gets a little more interesting. But that sucks. Because that's exactly the kind of move I think that gets some people trapped in longs when you think a stock is making a bottoming pattern and you want to catch that home run. So that kind of sucks about CLH.
Yeah, I remember Brian did not favor that stock.
Oh, of course he did.
He was comparing it to something else as well. Anyways, so many names, so many great
Intel?
ideas. Go back.
Rivian? I'm thinking of stocks that are trending.
No, it was something. I think it might have been something that we had an earnings report that day.
Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so just really quickly here on some of the moves. I mean, if we're going to look back, and I wanted to do something similar today, and I think it's important. First of all, we just got some more DraftKings. That's up to 45 right now. Just some of the sectors that have been moving around today, right? We've been talking about this. This is like what we'll do on the market recap show. Consumer discretionary today, big mover, right? I mean, we could just click on it and figure out what's going on with this chart, but this is what's in it. The components of the consumer discretionary today, you're going to see some big movers, right? Amazon, Tesla, Home Depot, McDonald's. So right into there, right? The top ones weighted there, Amazon, Tesla, Home Depot, McDonald's. And today you're going to be seeing some nice movements up, right? Amazon up 2%, Tesla another 2% as you continue to go higher. Nike right there, we had a question earlier today. So most of these names, man, we talk about how strong the retail is and how strong the consumer is, and that seems to be, printing out here for that as well. And then just moving on as we go, consumer staples next. Healthcare, despite its movement there today, you can see down 0.6 right now for healthcare. The highest, there's only 3 sectors that are up: comm services, information technology, and consumer discretionary. The worst out of the bunch today is energy. So we can have a quick look over at some energy names. I think Exxon might be worth a buy at some of these levels again. Just
for
because
healthcare,
of everything
though,
that they're in.
UNH is getting rinsed again.
Yeah, I mean,
it's down another 5 points.
Yeah, another 5%. UNH, I mean, that's obviously it's too bad, but I mean, it does highlight some of the issues there with the space, right? And it's always going to have a target on it because of sort of its dealings and how it works, right? I mean, people are always going to get upset when they're rejected coverage, and I understand that. I mean, I'm pissed off too.
Part of me is like, could there not be a buying opportunity here? Because
there definitely is a buying.
Yeah, like I've been looking at this one, and it's about to get to the 200 period moving average on the daily, by the way, which like that's nothing to sneeze at. It's just pulled back from highs, UNH over 10%. So you're looking at about a 13.5, 14. I'm just kind of doing it in my head. Pullback, maybe a little bit more than that if it gets to the 50 period moving average. Like this, if this base is here and tries to catch a bid, this looks like an interesting spot. That being said, you guys can obviously see, it's still a falling knife. It barely bounced off the lows yesterday. It's barely bouncing off the lows today. So I don't know that you're actually catching on a lot of strength. But I mean, come on. At some point, I know I'm going to pull the trigger in this for sure. At some point, I'm pulling the trigger on that thing. Palantir did just tap the high again. I'm now trying to dip buy 60s. We went 70 and then tapped 80 and trying to buy some 60s. What else going on? Lucas says that MSTR is about to explode when Bitcoin explodes.
Yep.
Yeah, well, the first thing that would have to happen is Bitcoin would have to explode off this high. It's bouncing off this high, but it's not really giving a high volume explosion. And the other thing is I saw someone in the chat mentioning an ETH ETF. I tried to pull it up and I couldn't. If there's like there's ETH, the grayscale. What other ETFs do we have quoted here?
We have ETHE, which is.
We have ETHE.
I don't know what ETH is.
Yeah, if there's any other ones, I know this is what we pull up for. We have a couple things we can pull up, but if you have another thing you're looking at for ETH, sort of let me know. But yeah, this is what I would be pulling up here. I mean, it's at the high of the day, just like. I mean, Bitcoin's chilling at the high of the day, and ETH is chilling at the high of the day. There's really nothing crazy happening up at this top relative to what we've seen before. Tube 37, Tesla 400 by Christmas. The 52-week high, the all-time high is 409.90 something on a closing basis, and 415 on an intraday basis. I think we break those, not just 400 on Tesla. I think we're breaking an all-time high on Tesla before my birthday.
Yeah, what did you say it was? 409?
Well, I had okay. I'll double check.
I mean, I can check.
I thought it was 409 something on a closing basis, and
all-time highs.
Yeah, and then under 415 was intraday because it must have obviously wicked it in the pre-market or something, or just wicked a high.
Yeah, that is where it is. Here it is, just on a weekly chart. It goes all the way back to 21. So October of 21, it's right. If you come over to the chart, maybe right there. So yeah, it looks like it went to 414. It looks like the close on that day was 40. I mean, we could probably just Google this, but 407. So yeah, in and around there, great. I mean, everyone would love that. That's not even that far away, man. 407, like that's 355 the beginning of this week, closing 378. So that's $25. Let's just say you add $25 more to that, and you're right there. So yeah, this could be next week. Yeah, you're right. So your birthday, end of the month? Yeah, for sure. That is definitely a good call on that one. We've seen stocks like Meta just continue to make new highs, and just a lot of stocks continue to go. We're now short DraftKings on our maximum amount of shares that I'm not our maximum, but the maximum that I'm willing to put on for DraftKings is now on against that high. Another stock that continues to ramp up with just a small PE. I think it's just around $30, right? 30 PE is Meta. The only one better, the more attractive of the Mag 7 is Google at 23. We sort of highlighted that before. But yeah, anyways, for right now, these are all rocking, man. I mean, the NASDAQ continues to hold out, right? Another 0.76% and continues to go higher. We can look at what gold's been doing today. I mean, look, as Bitcoin continues to go higher, I mean, 1015, GLD today is trying to go the other way, but looks like it's still going to hold positive right now as GLD trying to go. Palantir pulling back as well. I don't know if your position came in or what you were looking for.
It did.
Okay.
The second one came in. The first one was good. The second one just came in here on Palantir, and it did not hold on to the 60 level. Ooh. So it's still starting to come back in. It's still above the prior high, but the prior high was 76.40, which was the level we first tried to get long. At 76.40. We did get some at the high of the day, but then we reloaded it at 60, and it did not hold on to 60. So I wanted to get back in and actually test that low. But the big move just now was on Tesla as Tesla's now busted. It's 239 high of the day gone on Tesla. That happened very rapido. So yeah, well, Tesla seems to want those 80s. It does seem it just broke the high of the day. Whether you're talking pre-market or the open, it doesn't really matter. Tesla absolutely on the rampage. I did hear something in my ear, but I don't think it was related to Tesla whatsoever as it continues to fly. So Tesla looks like it's going to be the big one. Let's play. I mean, the opening range, not the opening range, but the open bottom was 377.80, right in front of 378. I think a join is at about that price for myself on Tesla. And watch out, Bitcoin is making that pullback in. So my plan is I'm trailing anyways underneath 57.70. That's where my trailing stop is. So I want to be long in front of the trailing stop in case we're able to get it.
All right, we'll just go this because, I mean, it's not a new position, but it's a reloaded one. I mean, we reloaded DraftKings right there. It would look a little bit better if I maybe zoomed in because we have that. So there it is. Okay. I mean, here we go again, man. This is exactly what we're doing. I don't know if it's going to flush down or not, but our net keeps going up. There's that short on DraftKings, $45. So there it is, 17 cents right now in the money. I mean, you don't need to, we just made 17 cents on DraftKings like that, and everyone's like, oh, Palantir this, Palantir that, in the chat. Look at Palantir. Sometimes you got to sort of try to find, that top again. You never know where it's going to come in, but I like this one pulling back into the 50-period moving average. But you have to remember something. Sometimes you can just get smooth moves. Look at this. Now we're 20 cents in the money and going lower now on DraftKings, so we'll put some damage on the board here on a sort of an undercover stock that we liked. And again, look at the barcode. We're just trying to find simple trades. So simple trades right into there, the fall back in, right into, again, simple out right now too, right? We're playing this zone. This fits like a glove right here today as DraftKings comes right back in. And then honestly, out more right here. We are almost out of Apple. We took advantage of that. We talked about dip buying opportunities and what you're supposed to do when you do that. Have targets, have outs. Definitely working out for us right now. Okay, DraftKings, come to the party, my guy. This is going to be a great little way to end the day for me here. I mean, hopefully, wow, we just got a 72 fill there? No, we did not. Okay, we got a 75 fill. Nice move down in for DKNG. Now 25 cents in the money. And I don't know if you're tired of this or not, but it is. Another one, this time on the bearish side of things as we ride it with DraftKings. So there it goes right now. People yelling at us about cost?
No.
It's
Ruben, fair enough. It's
tried to scam us.
Yeah, we have a great community and we love everybody, but I know you don't have to repeat the same thing over again. Bears versus Bulls is going to end up blocking you if you do that in the chat. And if cost was going crazy, don't get us wrong. If cost was doing something big, then we'd maybe have a look at it. So there you go. It's literally not moving at all. Tesla, look at that reversal. It's got to hold 78. I was zooming out and showing you guys this is the 78 level. Otherwise, you're playing off of the 77. Bitcoin might not get down to 50. IBIT might not get down to 57.80 on this next move in. So if it makes a higher low in the 90s, that's where I'll look for the reload, keeping the trail in at that 75. Let's go to Adara.
We did just get that consumer credit number in here, 19.23 billion versus 10 billion forecasted, and the previous print of 6 billion. I actually, though, had this throw to bring up AMD, which is falling pretty aggressively here. This is the 5-minute chart. As you can see here, there's a pretty clear volume spike. Basically, I'm seeing this report circulate here on social media from Business Insider saying that Amazon is not actually seeing enough demand for AMD's AI chips to offer them via its cloud. So Amazon apparently not looking to offer AMD's AI chips right now on its cloud because they're not seeing enough demand. Keep an eye on AMD here, guys. Again, that volume increase, bit of a bottoming tail candle now.
Thanks, Hal. They're the Midas touch, he says. I like that. All right, so right here on Amazon, I'm going to get out of this one, Hal. If we break a little bit lower, 225.40 on Amazon. I mean, we got exactly what we wanted. So it is another one this time. Exactly. Everyone should hit the like and the subscribe immediately and find out more of these trades every single day. Hopefully they can be this good. Again, and that's 221 right there. That's the long that we had. And again, for Hal R and everybody there as well in the chat. I mean, we wrote down this Amazon trade early. We're almost at 500,000 subscribers. So shout out to that one. We'll have to get Andre working on a new banner for our Twitter. But right there, look at this. It's a nice move up for Amazon. Only up 2 points, but at the end of the day, you are going sky high through 225 and change. So I'm going to use this as our out right here. If we break down below 225.50, give it a little bit more than that. We are going to punch out of AMZN as we continue to just rock it to the high side there on Amazon. So we really appreciate you, Amazon. And by the way, oh boy, cash register. If there's not another reason to hit the like button, Travolta's like, I mean, come on. You know, we've got these guys, we've got the guys on the Midday, we've got Adara over there, we got Ramin, we got Fabian, we got Bears versus Bulls, everybody's in the building.
Happy birthday, Fabian.
But not only that, yeah, happy birthday to Fabian. But not only that, we also have, hopefully, some banger trades for you, right? iBit right now, Neil's got that. He had some Palantir. We're on this DraftKings tip right now. And you know, guys, today we've traded one name, Apple. So let's just talk about what we've done so far today. I've only traded 4 names. Apple, right? This is the Apple trading so far. So that's a green name, right? Amazon. We've already talked about it. DraftKings, we're in it together right now. So that's 3 stocks. The last name is NVIDIA. We've traded 4 stocks. It'll be for 4 days. So we'll props it up right there. And then just, you know, end the weekend, end this Friday, and end this week off, the first week in December, on a very, very high and positive note. And of course, also very, very excited because it's Fabian's birthday. So he turns about, I think it was 41 today. So happy birthday to Fabian.
Probably half that is my guess.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that realm. So, oh yeah, our thing's going to do first in, first out. So we got a dip. When we bought the dip in the low 90s, average price to 57.75 because we were still holding from the 40, and then our stop is at 75, right? So overall, break-even trade if it loses support, and if it breaks the high of the day, great. So we'll reload. Our trail was here anyway, so we add there to get an average price of 75, although the ad is at 93, but first in, first out is how they like to code it. There's this Life W, which, of course, it's a MSP recovery, because why would that not be the name of the company, which is making a power move to the upside. Let me just quickly see if I can get the details on this for everybody that is asking about it in the chat. What do we got here? 17% short float. They've already reported 1 million float on Life W. It's done 10 million shares. And the absolute bulk of that is in the last 30 minutes or so at these highs. And daily chart, repeat offender. So this is it's done reverse split squeeze before, fall back to the bottom, reverse split, squeeze again. So this looks like it didn't hold up day 2 last time, and then day 3 it tried again, and then a bit of a fail. So just keep in mind that this has done this before, and whatever high it makes today, typically you don't generally get past it. So anyways, Life W, there really weren't any obvious levels on that daily chart, but on day 1, I mean, heck, if it can hold on, look at it ride VWAP on this move up. If it can just continue to hold VWAP, that's fantastic. $3 where VWAP is right now, I think that's the place that I'd be looking for a dip buy. But just be very careful. It's already past 307. I mean, if you're day trading, you got to be flat at the end of the day. Holding one of these runners when you're swinging, you know, it's a little bit different when you have to hold over the weekend as opposed to just 1 day or like 2 days. This will be a little bit different. And I don't know if they can just drop an offering on you there. But yeah, reverse split special. Obviously, the volume through the roof, so to speak. And Varesh, as far as I know, the news on AMD is real. Midday brought it to us live, but I have no reason to question it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm really glad that whatever we're doing here is real on DraftKings. DraftKings really, really making us print right now, and we're very, very pleased about it. DKNG right now, nice downside move. We'll take 40 cents right now on DraftKings, floss it off, hit the bang, and go over to Adara.
Yeah, we did have here this AMD. I actually have a little bit more. I'm reading more about what's happening here. So basically, again, this is reported by the Business Insider. Basically, Amazon apparently not seeing enough demand for AMD's AI chips to offer them on the AWS cloud. Apparently, they're basically just mentioning some comments here from Gadi Hutt, who is the senior director at one of Amazon's lab, basically that Annapurna Labs, basically saying that because Amazon Web Services does prioritize, quote, strong customer demand, they're just really not seeing that from AMD. But they do actually still use some of AMD's CPU chips, and they're going to be keeping the AI GPUs, quote, under consideration. So it sounds like this comments here, as reported by Business Insider, came from Gadi Hutt, senior director at Amazon's Annapurna Labs. So just to clarify again, it's not like Amazon has no relationship here with AMD. They are going to continue to offer their CPU chips, but they're just not seeing enough demand to want to offer their GPUs or their AI chips on the Amazon cloud, guys. That's just a clarification.
Yeah, thank you very much, Adair, for the clarification. They want to make sure you always want to make sure you got the story right if you're trading news-based. For sure. Thank you to Bbot, 5,000 for the super chat for the Chilean Nightmare. Happy birthday to the Chilean Nightmare. That is, for those that don't know, that is Fabian, a member of our production team, along on the ones and twos there with Ramin. I think he must have just gotten up. So, yeah, it looks like he just took off, but we'll let him know, and we appreciate you. And wow, Tesla is now through 381. Maybe it wants, I mean, forget about my birthday. Maybe it wants to get to that 400 today. As far as I'm concerned, it's very unlikely. That said, when you make a break, the last time it broke a significant high, it did not take very long to get to the next resistance. And it was at $300 in 2 days. It was at $350 in another 2 days. We've now broken a triple top at 360. I think you're headed to 400 bucks. I don't know if I zoom out far enough how long it's going to take to load that one up. But all-time highs are certainly going to be incoming on Tesla. I think you just got to favor the longs. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's not going to be split adjusted. Yeah, the all-time high, like we said, is at that 410 level. But our charts aren't going to be split adjusted. Apologies for that. If we pull back in and can hold this 380, I did prefer a dip buy on the first available red candle be at 78, but it looks like it might just be at that 80. The only thing we did dip buy was IBIT. Like I said, we added at 93 to get an average price of 75. It's getting back to 58. It needs to take out 102,000 here. We're still at the 101 half zone and not really breaking away from it. So I'd like to see it break that high, then make the continuation. And for those that were asking about ETH is it's eking through the high, so it is breaking out. It's not a huge move, but it is breaking as well on ETHE. So ETH having a very, very good day along with Bitcoin, although Bitcoin's not at the high just yet.
No. But probably getting there. Just real quickly right now, let's go, man. This is what it's all about. We got the animation, we got the hat. NVIDIA right now, nice move in. So we're going to take advantage of this one, it looks like anyways, and make 350 right now on this trade. We're going to only hold one last little piece now, so 5% left of NVIDIA now as it just comes right in, fills us here at 142. Now we wait for lower, man. I mean, I don't know. We're only holding one piece right now. So that is, of course, NVIDIA. And without any further ado, DraftKings still going down, but it's Adara again.
We're going to take a look here at LIFW. This one, of course, getting a little bit of a volume pop there. They have a float of 1.02 million shares, a short float of about 17.3%, and a market cap of $2.5 million. So these are all pretty intense metrics here. Pretty large short float, very small float and market cap. But I want to talk about the catalyst because it's actually pretty interesting. Basically, this company is a little bit confusing. They are called MSP Recovery, but they do business as Life Wallet. As of today, they're now saying now they're unifying their business under the MSP Recovery brand, which again is their actual, from what I can tell, governmental name. They just do business as Life Wallet. Now they're going to be doing all their business apparently here at MSP Recovery brand, and they actually clarified too, they are supporting initiatives that are aligned with the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, this is not the first time either that LIFW has basically co-opted the Department of Government Efficiency to try to push higher. They did gap up a couple weeks ago as well for the exact same reason, saying that they support the Department of Government Efficiency. So just be really aware of this one. This run runs pretty semi-frequently as well. And again, with that large short float and small float, be very cautious, guys. Oh, and make sure to like and subscribe to support this awesome channel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adara.
Yeah.
And
look at Apple. If you want, yeah, Tesla looks like it's going to break. I mean, Apple right here, guys. I mean,
no, Tesla already broke.
Tesla already broke. If you're held on to Apple right now, again, like this has become quite the great end of the week here for us, just trying to scalp out and making this money. 40 cents in the money on DraftKings, and now Apple's 40 cents in the money as that's going back up there. Sorry, 30 cents back up to the upside and back into the 200 period. Did not get stopped out. We could have even reloaded it right back there. This is just, it's been good, right? I mean, we have all these outs because I don't know where we're going to stop. We're going to stop at the 50. We're going to stop at the 200. We're going to stop at VWAP. We're going to stop up here. So we just kept on taking pieces out. The share size afforded us to do that. So just like right now, we took some more out, just sitting there at 30s. So again, doing this kind of trading here, trying to scalp it out. But right now, it looks like the market wants to go higher. I mean, it's how we're I mean, you know, right now sitting in total, we're almost $10 in the money on all of these trades. I mean, we've got Apple now 40 cents. We've got DraftKings 40 cents right there. We've got Nvidia $4, and we've got Amazon almost $5. And it's just huge moves to the top side. Amazon right now trying to base out. I mean, if we could take 226, I think that's also a punch long again. So, I mean, if you want to get going through there, then yeah, it might be there as well. I don't know. This is about the time where we could see some GameStop action, but
I think it's
yeah, 28.90. I was just looking because we are bouncing off VWAP a little bit there as well. So GameStop coming through at some point here, hopefully for something there. And I know you have Tesla.
Well, yeah, it was Charlie. Charlie in the chat was asking about for levels on Tesla because we only ever mentioned 400's a round number and resistance, but we kind of mentioned the all-time highs there. Closing base is 10 and then that 15. Well, if you just look on, this is a weekly chart, by the way. So this far out, I prefer a weekly chart to a daily. 388 and 380, like 383, which is where we're at pretty much going to test today. So 388, 383, and like $400 when you pull up a weekly chart are the ones to watch on Tesla. I thought I hit enter. Come on, Pre-Pro 8. I did hit enter. Sometimes you got to hit it twice. There still hasn't been a red candle on Tesla. Like it's just continuing to fly, and it is close to like that 83 level. It is incoming, man. This is one of those. It's a crazy rocket ship. Like I can't remember the last time I saw this kind of program buying on Tesla in an afternoon. If it gets to the 83 and does any kind of a mean revert, and there's any scalp trade that sets up for less than 50 cents risk, I'd take it. But I don't think you want to get blown out by like $1 or $2 on a name like Tesla. For sure, but that's a pretty hefty move into the upside, and it's getting very close to that 83 level to want to chase the top on TSLA. Still not, maybe it is ETH that wants to go. Bitcoin got back to the high and then is kind of chilling out here at 101.6. We're chilling at 58, just underneath 58.10. You're giving the consolidation, but you're not breaking out the top just yet. You need this breaking out the top, make some higher lows so you can try to break the top, get a higher low, reload at the higher low, and then continue to go. So while we just got the dip buy and it is going, it's not necessarily making the same move that we're seeing over in ETH. This doesn't have a lot of volume on it, by the way. This ETH.am. It's like 1.8 million, but I'm watching the tape. It's not really printing. It's just a lot of quote stuffing. There's got to be something a little more liquid.
Yeah, the one is ETHE, of course. That's what we were talking about.
Okay,
that's 6 million right now.
Yeah,
it's
that's
actually
better.
really printing and that's starting to go. I mean, I don't know
that's
if it's
better.
printing or not, but it is starting to go. And again, you know what's starting to go right now? I mean, hopefully the market can tick higher here. Apple going to try to end the week for positive movements here. We did start the week, trying to break, and we did break through that 236, now up to 243 and change right now as well. If you guys go over and follow @TraderTV on Instagram, I'm also on Instagram. I was just trying to find is this the most recent one? Yeah, 6 hours ago. So I want to say thank you. Andre has this posted up here for us again, asking us a question right now, and we've answered it before. There it is. Oh, I like that. Good look there. So we'll go over, find it at TraderTV Live. We all have some different things that we're posting up there on the gram. So go have a quick look at that and let us know what you so think about some of our content over there. And again, thanks everybody for continuously supporting all of us on social media and all that. Go find us all over there. All right, so DraftKings continues to go lower right now. Apple continues to go higher. Like these two things that we've put on so far here today have really started to work out for us. So two good trades here at the end of the day. The DraftKings short right now, that is 40 cents in the money and going lower, hopefully. And then the Apple long. Since then, we've just been sort of talking about Amazon and how we've liked it. The name that we've been looking at, another one that we've been sort of Neil was trading, that just fell off and then now bounced off the 200 period is going to be, Palantir. We talked about only going long near the 200 period. We probably should have done that again, as there it goes right now, coming back in up to the 200, now trying to get to the 50 period, try and take out this high. I mean, that's good. You've had the bounce, the rip, the bounce, the rip. So right now, here's the bounce. I'd get some out if you were long already on this name down here up here at 76.60. If you can, go for that. Come on, bring it down, man, DraftKings right now. SMCI. Is there any other names? I mean, AMC was downside there. We had that big run yesterday. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else going on right now. Crypto's ripping. You're already long.
That Life W and Tesla seem like they're the ones moving.
Oh, a Tesla, yeah, but you just covered it.
That AMC, I can't. That it makes me.
SMCI pull back to VWAP.
That one.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the day after there's like It's nothing to do with Roaring Kitty because he didn't make them do an offering the day after. But like the risk, that's the risk if you buy AMC, that on any single pop, they're just going to raise more money at the end of the day. That's just how it works. Harman, Soundhound AI. Hey, that back to $15? Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. I never got back into this. We were playing the consolidation between 50 and I had 14.75 with a stop under 50 on Soundhound. It did a fail break of 15. I got out some there at 15, thankfully. So it's mostly, I paid fees on it, obviously, both ways. But yeah, this one could break. This has got to be interesting. Like we talked about that 15 level all morning long, and there was a brick wall at 15 for size that just kept holding and holding. And even when it broke, it still flushed in. But you know what? It never broke the low. That's the thing. It never lost the low, so it's still a good consolidation on Sound. So maybe it didn't get the Kramer curse.
Oh, maybe.
Although, you know what? I'm pretty sure I was driving home from physio, and I think he said his advice was ring the register on SOUN, which, I mean, look at the daily chart, I guess, obviously. I would say the same thing, too. How could you? The stock is a triple up in November. I know it's December now, but like from November 1, from November 1, the stock is a triple. So, I mean, who wouldn't ring the register at a triple? But it's a pretty good breakout. Volume, the volume's not great. That's the only blemish would be that the volume, there you can see it way better, not very good at all on the volume side. Usually you want to see it increasing, and then I like it breaking out in volume in addition to breaking out on the high, generally speaking. So that's the only blemish. IBIT's just sort of chilling at the high. Like I said, ETH seems to be going a little bit better, but it's trying to go. And Tesla, see, and that's why you got an execution rule. It did not close underneath the trend line. It ducked, but it didn't close under trend, and now another fresh high being put into Tesla as we speak. This stock is an absolute rocket.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tesla's a rocket. Amazon $5 and continues. I mean, yeah, I don't know Tesla, Amazon's up right now $2 in an hour.
Tesla's up $5 in
it's just
30 minutes. It's
in
going
30
ridiculous.
minutes. Yeah, exactly. So some of these names, man, and the futures still continue to go.
What about the ones?
So I don't know if there was like individual news or something on Tesla, but yeah, there it goes, man. Really trying to break higher. Wow, nice upside trade on TSLA. Oh my God, this name since that election has just been like, wow, 240. 380, like unbelievable. It was funny because
I feel so bad for my physio guy.
Yeah,
he loves
Tesla.
MSTR.
Oh,
and Tesla.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
No, not really, because his plan was he thinks Bitcoin's going to run and MSTR is the jam, so buy the dips.
Yeah.
So he's like, I want to sell Tesla to buy MSTR.
Okay, well,
which I was like, one of those two things I would feel comfortable holding forever. That's all I will get at. Because I think, look, I mean, obviously, like, I believe in Bitcoin too, but I believe in Bitcoin more than over-leveraged MSTR. Because I think it's just a little bit safer. Like, what happens, all that speculation of MSTR getting in the NASDAQ, like, what happens if and when they don't? I just wonder about those shocks. And what happens if we get a healthy 20% pullback in Bitcoin? I feel much safer
when we get a pullback in Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, because there will be one, and they're buying more at every single level. AMD's now at 138.5 and still falling.
Boom.
So I was just checking out some things. I ran into Mateo there, and he was like, pull up DocuSign again when I went to refresh my water.
I talked about Mateo, man. This guy's too much. Oh.
Nobody's like, did you look at Docu again? I'm like, what? It was at 104. And no, it was at 108. DocuSign. And there's a few earnings names we probably haven't talked about. DocuSign is maybe the biggest mover of the day. No, Asana was, Asana's a smaller stock. 43% on Asana, but DocuSign being up 27% is obviously a little bit bigger of a deal than that. Tesla is getting to that 383. It's got to be pretty specific. I don't know if it's going to be able to break and close underneath trend, but it just formed a new one. And yeah, it's not a mean revert when it doesn't have another clean push-up trend. Like at that point, like you'd just be grasping at straws, which I don't want to do. But AMD's under a lot of pressure. AMD is another stock in my cleanup in my cleanup phase where I'm like thinking about the things in my long term
wow.
that I've held for a while that I just haven't done anything with. I haven't bought any, I haven't sold any in a very long time. And it's like, do I even still want to be in this stock, or should I be selling it? But I like the channel that it's in for a channel break, but it refuses to break out of the channel to give you the trade. Advanced Money Destroyer. It's not that bad. Michael Sillin, I don't know if you can call AMD advanced.
No. I've already called it that. I think that's why he's referencing it. That's a reference from the show.
Okay.
What's up, Adara?
So I do have a story here that could be impacting Tesla, though I'm not sure if this is specifically why it's moving. We did get around 11:30 a.m. Reuters reporting that the Trump transition team is considering canceling the Postal Service's EV supply contract with companies like Ford, and that would be part of a larger effort to unwind, or this effort would be part of a larger, broader executive order here on EVs. So now why this is significant is because the administration that's incoming has already expressed some hostility towards EVs. You know, there's been talk about this EV tax credit being removed. Well, the reason that TSLA could be potentially running up on this is because there's a lot of speculation that Tesla is not necessarily going to be impacted by any, I guess, moves here in the EV space, because Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, is quite close there with Donald Trump and also a member of his administration's Department of Government Efficiency. So just keep an eye here on TSLA. Not sure if this is the catalyst, but it is something worth noting. Just another way in which Tesla might potentially be protected by these anti-EV rules coming through. And make sure to like and subscribe.
Please keep that going. Thanks, Adara, for that one. Yeah, I mean, I was, as AMD goes one way, Amazon goes the other way right here. Amazon still climbing, and now $5, sorry, in the money, not $6, $5 right now in the money on Amazon and going higher. I'm going to use this 50-period moving average. That's 62s. I mean, we were at 50s before, so we're just going to cancel our stop order and just watch it keep going. We did get out of, we only have 15% left of DraftKings. I'll talk about that in a minute. 225. Let's just get exact. I mean, why not? This is a monster trade. It is the number one name on the sticky note today, by the way, is Amazon. 225.60 also coincides with that little drop zone. So 225.60, good enough for me. 225.59. We don't need to get too fancy with it. We'll get out of absolutely everything if and when that trade comes through for us. So that's Amazon out of this trade for $5 if we can get it at 225.60. Otherwise, let's just let it ride, right? I mean, we have no other reason to do anything otherwise than that. So let it ride. We're going all in on that one. Okay, so wow. All right. Was not expecting that move, DKNG. So let's put out, ooh, we just put a bid at 55 and it went upside. All right, let's put about for half of what we have left there at 55. Hey, man, we'll take 45 cents. Let's go on DraftKings right there. I mean, I can't do much better than getting the high of the afternoon right there on DraftKings and bringing it all the way back in. And again, it was just like this. It was barcoding. It's the same reason why we're long Apple, right? Both of the trades that I have on right here in the afternoon are about as textbook as you can get, like simple trading. You know, like here's a base here on Apple. We went long, came back in. We went long again. We did not go back long there. So you know, we're always going to have some kind of mistakes, but that was another opportunity, and then we just get right back down to the upside. So again, 5% left of Apple, even less than that left of this NVIDIA trade, and then as I said, 10% left of DraftKings. Trying to get a 5% of that or half of that, so 5% at 55. If we are able to do that. So yeah, that's basically the trading that we have right there. No earnings coming through. We talked about Lululemon, did have earnings earlier on today. That's pulled back into 400, still up 17%. I mean, it's better than it was off the open right there. Nice little bump up all the way to 410. Geez, wow, this stock really got going there today on Lululemon.
Did you see GitLab?
410, no, what, GitLab, what, pulled, wasn't GitLab up, what, 7 or 8%?
Rug.
Oh, rugged. Okay.
Rugged on GitLab. Well, I didn't trade GitLab, but rug job.
Yeah.
This is actually, I don't think I've seen a chart this precise where in the aftermarket show, it basically failed the high in the aftermarket and then dropped all the way to the low in the aftermarket before catching a bid. But a complete rug job. The only saving grace for this, there was never any point in this that there would have been any reason to look for an early long. Like if you were going on an early long, it never broke out the high. It never bounced off the pre-market lows. It didn't catch a bid anywhere that made any sense. Like this support area here never caught a bid. And then eventually when it did catch a bid, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I think at least on the bare minimum, it's hard to imagine that you could have been rinsed on GitLab. But you know what's interesting is that actually in the morning show, I actually was looking for the dip into 73 hold and then rally in GitLab, but it wasn't the one that's set up, and that's sort of the thing. You can want this one to gap and go and continue, but it just didn't. So like, why would you ever be long it? On the other hand, DocuSign, gap, break, hold prior high, it did hold and continue to go. So I think when you're looking for continuation plays on Monday, I mean, Docu's way stronger. I would say DocuSign over Lululemon. I kind of thought Lululemon had held a little bit better than that, but I think I'll sooner look continuation on DocuSign than I will on Lululemon, just given the fact that it didn't necessarily hold on to the highs as well. So just a little tiny bit more strength in Docu. Still a good day for Lululemon. We did just get through the high on Bitcoin, but we still won't break 102. So I don't know exactly what 102 is, but it's probably around 58.3 or so on IBIT when we get to the 102 level. We're just at 101.8 right now, but it is trending higher. If we can consolidate above 51.18, if we can maybe retake it, we just came back up and down, then I would move the trail to about 51.8. The trail's now at 58. We're underneath the 58 even on Bitcoin. Let's see if it's going to continue to run. That Life W, how's that doing for everybody? Oh yeah, it just, what goes up must come down. Yeah, you know, let's be careful chasing those things. It pulls right back into that $3 level. I mean, it's not rocket science. Stock fails at 4, pulls back into 3. Broke out from 2. Broke out 2, turned 4, so the dip came in at $3. Sometimes it's just how it is. Let's go over to Adara and check out Sector Watch.
As we head into the first week of the last month of the year, we're going to take a look at some of these names making big moves to the upside and downside on the S&P 500. I always like to have a bit of a theme for this segment. And the theme today is going to be names that are actually reporting earnings next week, because it might not be a Mag 7 earnings week, but that doesn't mean there aren't some heavy hitters on watch. Starting here with Adobe, ADBE, up about almost 3% here today. They did get a price target increase from BMO Capital Markets. And yesterday we had a positive note as well from Piper Sandler saying that they think Adobe will have strong subscriptions in that next report. Then we have here ORCL, Oracle. They're going to be reporting Monday after the close. Also, Adobe is going to be Tuesday after the close. Oracle, though, Monday after the close, featured here in CNBC's final trade. So keep an eye on ORCL, guys. And last but not least, we do have AVGO. This one actually has a specific catalyst in addition to having earnings after the bell on Thursday. Basically, we did have this report coming through here from Bloomberg that Apple is planning this 3-year modem chip rollout. They're going to be, I guess, trying to outdo Qualcomm here. Qualcomm dropped on this catalyst, but the reason that this is a positive catalyst for Broadcom is because Broadcom and Apple recently expanded their deal. Apple would be working with Broadcom, presumably, on this modem chip rollout. So keep an eye here on AVGO, ORCL, and ADBE. Just 3 of the names reporting next week. GameStop also reporting after the bell on Tuesday, guys.
Reporting, yes. I like that. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. All right, so we'll go around. Ooh, on Tuesday. Ooh, that'll be yours truly and Mr. Brian Shannon on there. So we'll have an opinion there. I don't think he really is the biggest fan of GameStop or anything like that.
There aren't many.
We'll ask him. All right, so just real quickly here as we get some orders out, because there goes DraftKings. Nice little trade on this one. It's a chicken dinner winner. And again, we explained this one that it was a 45 short, why we liked it, the 200 period. Nice little move to the downside right there for DraftKings, and it's continuous to go. I asked if there was any names that anybody wanted me to go over, because that's what I'm here for, to do that. Everyone talking BTC, we already know about that one, and we already know about Tesla, so they're just the ones that are continuing to do the same thing over and over again. I'm just going to keep adjusting my Amazon stop, because now it's all the way here at 225.80. So it's nonstop. nonstop rippage right there. And again, go over. We talked about, you know, resources, and trading is a lonely game, which is why we put out the sticky note every single day. It's just ideas that I'm going to be looking at. I've only traded, and again, Neil and I completely different styles. I think it's 10, 11, 12 symbols over there for Neil. I've traded 4 symbols today, and I try to stick to all of these, man. Amazon, and if something shows up, we'll do it. Like iBit, we have actually even traded iBit right there, Nvidia, Amazon. Like DraftKings showed up out of nowhere. We started to trade that as well. But there's Amazon, the long, and then the short on Nvidia. So those are going to be my 2 biggest trades. And then we did find in the wild, because we have other scanners going on right now. We talked about eSignal. Here's just a brief little scanner, different names showing up when we hit different moving averages, 5 periods, 5-minute charting, VWAP trade, stuff like that, which is why you're always seeing me sort of look around and try to figure that out. So we got identified there on that DraftKings trade, and then the rest is history. Okay, we're starting to pull back just a little bit now. I just noticed Amazon with a little bit of a drip back in. We just have percentage points left of our initial long, so it's not going to be really too much trouble there. What's been happening though, for me? Okay, what we've been noticing right here with NVIDIA is we are getting closer and closer to being completely out of this name as it dripped down. We got that 142. I was being probably a little bit greedy again. We just have percentage points left on this move back down into 142. Thinking about that low of the day, but there's the NVIDIA again. Just be able to believe in your position, and that's what we did here. We got stopped out of the short, but we went right back into it and able to hold it throughout the rest of the day. Thanks, Adam. If you're still in the chat there, you talked to me, and we talked to each other when you were here, and we talked about like sort of what we were talking about as far as holding on for a little bit longer and how much of a difference all of that makes, and it's really changed everything for me, and as far as all these bigger positions, bigger trades, bigger P&Ls, and just being able to watch out for these things and have confidence to put on shares when things are working. And right now, that's a good one there. So there's DraftKings back there over to the downside. So yeah, join Darren us, and then Raider Trader. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but he's going to come there. He promised us that he would be dropping some market. You know what he said? Market exposing. He said he's going to expose the next market move. I believe that's what it was. So he's going to expose the next market move.
What sector will he?
Yeah, I mean, what is he looking at there? We'll get it. Ask him some question. Ozan, I cannot adopt you. I already have 3 kids, an axolotl, a dog, a couple fish there as well. But the one thing that I can continue to, we have what, 20 seconds? To go. Okay, so we'll just keep it on here for a minute because I'm going to talk about eSignal in just a couple seconds. All right, Apple upside. What else you guys want to do here? NVIDIA, last hour. Don't expose too much. Yeah, we won't do that at Raider Trader. He won't. I just wanted to say AMD, it's funny because I got sort of sidetracked there a little bit, but like it just bumped up and it gave you that other short. So that's what I was going to. We keep on talking about how the market's been bleeding down there. You just had an opportunity to reload or at least get some more short there on AMD. Let's go NVIDIA, man. Now 350 in the money as we go fail on NVIDIA. Look, scan that eSignal QR code immediately. And the reason why I'd want to do that is because we only have a couple tools here, and one of them is going to be charting. You want to make sure you have these real-time scanners. I just did actually a real-time example of some of the scanners that I use and what we're looking for there. Join us with eSignal. Again, very powerful. It's a entitlement-based system. So you can, again, Hang Seng's moving around, something's going on in the Nifty 50, you want to check out some Indian stocks, anything like that. You want to check some stocks in the Chilean market because to celebrate the Chilean Nightmare's birthday, you may want to look over there and see what's going on. I personally have charted Brazilian names on this platform as well as every single exchange in Europe when we used to trade the European closes. We really like eSignal on this side of things, and I think it's just the fact that it's so reliable is really the thing for me. I think for all of us, right? You want to make sure that you have reliable products in front of you every single day. The scanners, the real-time testing, the back testing, all of these filters, very, very unique to your own personal taste. So again, lots of stuff to scan, and I'll do a real-life example of this pretty soon. But right now it's 3:37, and we're getting closer and closer to wrapping up the day. Oh boy, NVIDIA is making that move to the downside right now and starting to get going. So we'll wait to see how much lower that can go. And we have our stop on Amazon scheduled. That is a $5 winner. We're holding about $9 right now, but we know that we're going to get out of Amazon if it breaks below this 225.80 marker. DraftKings, I mean, let's go, man. I mean, that's going to be a big trade there. And then that's about it. So heading into the close, I'll continue to look at the chat and see if we can get some more ideas.
Yeah, good look there. And we have the imbalances. Someone asked for an early look at the imbalances. We didn't really say anything, but there wasn't much. There's a few above a mil, but they're all relatively nothing burgers. Pfizer, UAA, PCG, and then AT&T are above a million. I'm expecting you'll probably see a few big cap tech names, but I wanted to remind something before we get to the super chat. Yesterday, you would have seen, remember Amazon yesterday? We had that the late long in Amazon where it pushed 220 into 221.5, right? Right at 350, it was started ramping up and then got a huge reversal at the end of the day. And we're talking about that notion where companies can't do buybacks in the last 10 minutes if they're buying back stocks. When you're trend up, a stock is trend up, and if it pushes initially on the imbalance, sometimes it'll run out of steam. We've seen it with Apple before. We saw it yesterday with Amazon, so I would want to alert to that for anybody. And then I wanted to shout out Nimrod in here. Thank you very much for the super chat again, Nimrod. Actually, I haven't seen you this week, I don't think, but shout out to you. Good rule of thumb when starts. Got a rule of thumb. My bad. Got a rule of thumb when starts swing selling tickers like Palantir? ? Keep on thinking it has to pull back, but seems invincible. Same with BTC, have loads of both. Unsure when to unpack some, wait for a pullback. My general rule is if I have a set of rules for why I got into a swing trade, then I like to have those on the way out. You know what? I need a higher time frame chart to maybe answer that, because I'll just go over Snowflake because it's a recent swing for me, and so I can kind of go over this a little bit easier because I just did it. Whatever your reason is for getting in the case of this, it was sort of two-pronged. It was breaking a down, so here's key downtrend on Snowflake. It was break of that, hold above the trend line, and then hold the 50-period moving average, right? So it broke the trend here, consolidated above the 50-period, so there's the entry. And then if this trend is my reason to get in, when it tests this start of the trend line, take some profit. Obviously, I don't know what's going to gap up there on earnings. It just happened to take some profit, and then I'm now trailing underneath that level. Like if it loses this, I'm getting out. And I already knew that if it got this gap, I'm looking profit at that gap. If it breaks out here, I slap another trend on it, and then if it breaks that trend line, I get out. So like that's my rule of thumb. That way, if it holds on to the crazy upward trend, you're good to go. So, but you have to have, like, again, when you're developing your own personal trading plan, that has to be a part of it. I don't know where you're into Palantir or why, and what was the reason for you to get into it recently, but you've got to have some kind of a set rule. And, you know, obviously it hasn't broken any trend to the upside. It hasn't even had more than, 2 days red? Actually, check that. Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, right here, it did 2 days red since its most recent breakout. So, like, clearly the trend is upside. If you want a set of rules that you can apply to it, that even though, you know, Snowflake is pulled back a little bit, I know where my next target is, I know where my trail got moved to. So whatever the reason for getting in, you want to make sure you're applying the same type of rules on your exit plan. And that's something you have to, you know, do your own. I don't do a lot of swing trading, but, you know, if I do, I usually have pretty hard and fast rules. I tend to not hold on long enough. I'll be the first to admit it on a swing trade.
Okay, just briefly here, we got out of everything on Apple. I just was like, I've had enough of this. We had 5% left. We got out there for 10 cents, whatever. It breaking a little bit lower. I don't want to be part of it. The imbalances are coming out. I just want to end the week on such a remarkable afternoon here, because with Apple, with DraftKings, I mean, we just covered some more DraftKings. Now we have 2% left of DraftKings. Again, beautiful move to the downside there, and still moving around as well. Palantir going to be back near the high of the day, 76.40 again, trying to top out on that one. AFRM is another one of those names that's been such a runner again. Like, wow, some of these stocks just continue to really be impressive. I mean, a firm at the top side here trying to hold out for that. What about this break, man? What about this break on Monday? $73 upside there for a firm. What a run this name has been on, man. August 20. This is what I'm saying when we talk about, like, oh, we have Bitcoin and we have like all this FOMO about not having Bitcoin. Like this name here from August. I mean, I don't know how you know about this, but this is up almost 3x right there from August. So like Bitcoin in August, probably 60 and change, right? 3x from that is 180. Like some of these stocks just are well outpacing crypto, but I mean, you got to be really risk adverse or sorry, not risk tolerable
Oh, yeah.
to be able to trade in a firm with that. You probably have more confidence in crypto not getting sort
Upstart,
of
too.
pulled there back down. I mean, even like a name like SoFi, we talked about SoFi being like $7 or $8 back in the middle of the summertime. I mean, you know, now 16, so that's a double plus right there. And then you're going to see like, okay, what was IBIT then in the summer? So let's just have a quick look at that. If you just went long and you said, you know what, I got 10 grand or whatever, I'm going to try to put it somewhere. So you went from 34 up to 58. I mean, obviously, it's funny when we just say, oh, it's only that kind of a percentage increase there. But like when you're getting from 33 there, 100% gets to 66, you're at about like 70 and change percent there. It's impressive, but it's not 300% Affirm. It's not 300 or 400% Palantir. Like there's a lot of names. And then you have another name like Uber right here that's pretty much trying to give it all back right now to the downside. So you got to be careful with where you're invested and what you're doing. Uber's bottom is basically right here again. That's the summertime lulls that we came in at 64 and change. Get this garbage out of here, what happened in early August. So this is why I think Uber is a potential buy. It's one of the bigger tech names. I mean, they're still not that huge, but one of the bigger names that have come into levels of support right there. Also a name like an AMD has done the same thing. And you're going to find opportunities to buy some of these names, right? I actually want to buy DraftKings at a certain point. I think that's another name that I want to get more exposure to. If I didn't have Palantir, that would be another name there as well. Stupid eyelash here. And then some of the ETFs, you know, I recently bought XBI. I believe in this one just for the technology and for how AI is going to be changing. Wow, this is at $99. Okay, this has been a really good one there. We actually bought some of that bottom as well. And when you get high quality ideas that you believe can work out, like an XBI or an IBB would be another one in the biotech space there. When you get drips into the 200 period, I think it's worth buying. So nice little move up there for XBI. And then we're also been recently buying some Berkshires. That's what we're doing. Thank you so much, Jin. Grateful for the show. Look, we're grateful to have you guys here. We almost are at 500,000 views or subscribers. So make sure you hit the like and the subscribe immediately and join the club of over 500,000, soon to be over 500,000 other subscribers.
Get to be the 500,000.
Yeah, man, we're live every single day. So make sure you come back in there. Even when Neil can't properly breathe, he's here.
If you make me laugh, I'll cough more.
Right,
It's actually been happening all day, but John Womack just put in the chat Soto to the Expos, which...
That'd be so nice, man. Him and Larry Walker, they could do a lot of
That would be
damage over
amazing.
there.
I can't believe Tampa completely ixnayed the whole notion. Well, no, Montreal said they would not host. They would
Hey,
not
you can't
host
go back
Tampa.
and forth. That'd be
No,
ridiculous.
they can't. Montreal is actually doing renovations on Olympic Stadium.
No, but just the back and forth aspect of it is kind of like, you know, who the home team, the this, the back and the forth, the taxes, all that.
Shouldn't have left in the first place. Canada should have, for professional sports, in my opinion, Canada should have different rules, allowing it to be more feasible for us to sign big stars. All it would do is bring more money into Canada, but they won't do it. It's like these guys live in America, play half their games in the U.S.
Remember, Juan Soto has the highest offer on the table is from the Blue Jays. He just doesn't want to come here.
No, but you know why? The rumor is it's because Cohen on the Mets has basically just said, "I'll beat anybody by 50 mil total."
Right.
So he might not actually have a dollar offer out to them, to Soto. He's just said he'll beat by 50.
But we have the highest offer out.
But we'll never.
I don't think it's a money. It's just it's players have to want to come here, right? I mean, that's at the end of the day.
And by the way, escape plan. I actually feel fine. I just can't beat the cough. The cough is just more annoying than anything else. And if I didn't have to talk all day long, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. To be honest with you guys, it's just I was sick for like a couple of days last week.
Too bad you got to talk all day then.
Yeah, it is what it is. No, but I was sick a couple of days last week, and I got over it pretty quickly. It's just the cough never went away. But Bitcoin tried to break a new high. IBIT tried to break a new high along with Bitcoin. It got to 102. I said if we got to 102, move the trail up. And here, let me just show you 102 right there. So there's us getting to 102. It broke it very, very briefly and then turned right back underneath. It's not a huge move. If I go to a 1 minute chart, you can see it a little bit better. So there is your breakout from the 102. There is your curl. When that happens, I get out. We only have 3 minutes till the imbalances. And you're right, Melvin Tejada, the 94 Expos were a fantastic team. They would have won the World Series. They could have been a dynasty. They had Pedro. They had everybody, but it is what it is. It's still a lot of fun. You ever been to Exhibition Stadium?
No.
Yeah,
it would be nice to go there probably.
The Jays would do a thing where they'd end their spring training coming back up and playing an Exhibition Stadium, but they can't do it right now because the stadium is ridiculously old. So it is what it is. Is AMD still going down? No, it's not. Okay. Tesla, on the other hand, maybe it is gonna. Okay, whatever. It's not going to. It's not going to 400 today, but it's now at 386 and is just absolutely flying at this point. T Daddy, I have been hydrating like absolute crazy. I appreciate you, but like I've been drinking so much like warm, warm and room temperature water. It is what it is. But I appreciate it. I'm doing as much as I can. But wow, Tesla. I don't even know what to say about this. It's absolutely phenomenal. I really hope you did not sell your Tesla in the midst of a new breakout. That's sort of the thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with ringing the register. It's just a weird time to do it when you're making a brand new breakout on Tesla. That's my whole thing. Like, this break can't get to 400. I mean, this breakout gave you a consolidation 330 to 360. If it just does the same range it was hanging out in, that takes you to 390, which is literally 5 minutes away at this point. So rocket ship to the upside. I hope everybody has it. Ozan, yeah, adopt you. You're always asking for us to adopt. I only have one child. It is true. I only have one child. I have the utmost, and I've said to you guys
before. That's why
Neil's
rich.
I have the utmost respect. Like, it's a busy household for us, with only one kid.
Man.
Like my wife's working, and when she travels a lot for work, that makes it a bit of a challenge. That's why I live close to my parents, man, because they're fantastic. They're able to do pickups.
You have one kid and your parents. Yeah, I mean, wow. Yeah, well, anyways, kids, I mean, it's so funny because like you don't understand like how much time, and you're right, like how much time it does take. Like I'm done this right away going to shinny, like outdoor hockey immediately. Like, and I look forward to doing all of this. That's why I try to go to the gym. I do go to the gym in the middle of the day, then do this, and then just spend basically the rest of the weekend only doing kid stuff. Like, that's all basically social life is. Well, we went.
It's the best time, though.
Yeah, I mean, you got to enjoy it while they are this age. 3, 2, and 1. Now the imbalances are out, so get ready to rock and roll here with us. It's NVIDIA. It's a buy. We only have a little small piece left of NVIDIA, but there it is, ticking upside. We might as well get out. DraftKings, big time move to the downside. Now 70 cents in the money. That's not doing anything though right now. Cisco, Google with a buy. We really like Google. 176 right now. We trade Google, but that's a nice move there. We talked about Broadcom was on one today, and that just continues to go upside there as well. Broadcom, boom, up to 181, up 5%. Of course, the Broadcom P is like 100. NVIDIA's is like 39 or something like that. So Broadcom well outpacing its valuation there. But nice move there for Broadcom. It's a buy imbalance and going down. SMCI, also a buy imbalance, up 6%, but not doing too much right there. All right, so Apple we're out of. We only have a few left. We just got it filled on DraftKings right there. This is going to be a big trade alert for me to end the day on DraftKings. And then NVIDIA, and then, of course, Amazon looks like it wants to do its own thing here as well. So we'll start to, like, clean up, get some of these stop orders in there and go. But right now, still some big winners on board. NVIDIA, DraftKings, and Amazon. That's all that we're holding right now. How many hours of sleep do I get? About 6.5.
That's really
maybe
good.
I go to bed around midnight-ish, 11:30-ish. So that's about what
6.5 is great.
Yeah, I can check.
I think I average like, but I'm a bad sleeper, but I average like maybe 5:50 to 6, like somewhere in that range. And that's a vast improvement. Before I got my Whoop, I was easily more of a 5 to 5.5. And it was just efficiency got me the extra half an hour to an hour, like less waking up in the middle of the night. No, seriously, like little things, like what works, like the amount of hydration I do.
Oh, 6 hours, 3 minutes yesterday, according to this.
So those like, things are fantastic. Like, if I keep my added sugar intake down, that makes a big deal. Like, little things like that you realize work for you. I never work out past, like say like 7, 8 o'clock at night. That actually managed to help me as well. But wow, this is unbelievable, Tesla. You've got to be kidding me. At this point, I don't think you're gonna. It's way too late in the day to look mean revert trade on this thing. It's just now flying. It just held the trend the entire way. Top Void, you just ordered a Whoop. Oh, I should have given you my thing. I get a free month if I had referred you. Top VoIP. No, it's all good. No, the guy said it's fantastic. But that said, I was it was a problem for me. And then, I was one of those, I could not help but wake up in the middle of the night. And then, I can't get back to sleep. I'd get up, I'd, read something or whatever because I just couldn't get back to sleep. So this has been better. So it's, make sure simple things. Stay hydrated, have a routine. I go to bed relatively early, wake up the same time pretty much every single day, which is probably too early in the morning. But Hertz Scrambler said Lily's flying down. No, say it ain't so. Tesla is just continuing to rocket, obviously. Lily, but okay, it's not necessarily rocketing down. Lily's still up on the day, but it is falling going into the close here. Lily's had a great rebound on the daily, but I was going to mention something about this and I totally forgot. Look at the resistance here at 850 already once, and now it's a 50-period moving average. This will be a great trend break if it can close above 850, but it makes total sense why you'd have resistance on Eli Lilly at the 850 zone. So if you were like a recent 700 buyer, which I've seen a few people when we were pointing this out before, like, yeah, this is a obvious big level on Eli Lilly. Well, how does it look now with the resistance at 850? 200 period, 50 period convergence, obvious resistance. If it can take that out, you resume trend to the upside. And the last time it resumed trend, it got back to the all-time high on Lilly. So we'll see if it's able to do that. Top VoIP, same here, 3 a.m. club. It's not a club you want to be in. And you want to strive to not be in that club.
Yeah, no, we're in these clubs, and that's about it these days. All right, some comedy clubs. We saw that Maniscalco last week. All right, so right there, DraftKings. We just got out of Amazon. I just hit offer enter. DraftKings are going to do the same thing here. Punch out of that. So we are now out of DraftKings. Oops, I wasn't even on that stock. There it is, right there. We are now out of DraftKings. So again, a big trade right there. That goes into the gates of hell. But it's been some of this in the afternoon. Hopefully it's not too much of a storm around for you guys today. It's been good weather, I feel like, this afternoon. I went for a couple walks. It's pretty nice there as well. So hopefully you guys get a safe trip home wherever you guys are here today. NVIDIA is the one that's starting to go back to the upside there. I was bidding 142.05s. We did get missed on that, so I'm just going to punch out right now. But it's 355, so let's see if NVIDIA switches to a sell, which it should probably do, and then head to the downside. So let's see. It's only 8 seconds to go, and then this will probably flip up, and then we'll be able to see here it comes right back down into 142. So watch this tank, 2 and 1. There it goes.
Here it is.
Nope, it stays a bit.
Oh, wow.
So it did come back in right there. There's NVIDIA. We can watch it together. So see, everyone thought it was going to come to the downside. I was like, oh, here it comes the downside. And then it flipped over and stayed a bit. So this will probably pair off near the close, but you don't get any major pairing moments anymore. I'm just going to bid here in the 20s. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. You know what? Forget it. I'm going to bid 39s. There we go. We're out right there. I'm just going to get out of that one. It's a $4 winner, and it was held all day, pretty much, NVIDIA. The short right off the open. Same thing with Amazon. You know, just hold it, man. I mean, that looks ridiculous right there that we basically get everything out, go to the gym, come back, don't trade it at all in the afternoon, and then just get it out right now. Amazon's 227. This thing is an absolute monster there today. Wow. Apple, big time. So we've got all the stocks today. Amazon's big, man. This is going to be the P&L number 1. NVIDIA is going to be the P&L number 2. DraftKings is the P&L number 3 today as well. And then Apple, P&L number 4. Right there for me. So 4 for 4 stocks. Kept it real simple, stupid today. And yeah, I'll get over there to the desk. We've got Raider Trader coming on right now here at the end of the day. So that should be a lot of fun. Join Adara and I will do a little bit of a Q&A. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. Thanks, everybody out there for your continued support, man. It's going to be just a great weekend, I think. A lot of football to be had this weekend. And, you know, if you guys are with your family, your friends, make sure you have a great weekend. And again, happy birthday to Fabian over there. I wish maybe I'll figure out something to bring him on Monday. Here, Fabian. Yeah, I got a gift for you here. Do you want to
shares of Tesla?
Slightly used Palantir hat. I mean, it's worth probably now about, I don't know, a third of a share maybe. There, right there on Palantir.
Slightly used.
Slightly used, yeah.
Was that 2020?
Yeah, but it's like it's just more kind of worn around the. You know, it's not like it's still.
But those are the best kind of caps. It's like a game-worn cap.
Yeah. This is one of those.
Game-worn and signed is worth like, I don't know, much more.
It's signed by Alex Karp, that hat.
Well, that'd be something. By the way, Tesla is about to hit don't jinx it, $90. Just hit $389 and is continuing to go parabolic. Like, talk about steady upward program buy and then go and then go absolutely nuts into $389 here, as I just heard we're going to Adara.
Just be aware here, we do have the S&P 500 on watch. Based on market patterns, and again, we don't know for sure, but based on market patterns, there's a lot of people speculating we're going to get our next S&P 500 rebalance or inclusion announcement after the bell. Now, some stocks that I'm seeing are going to be on watch potentially for an inclusion. And again, we don't know yet, but here's what I'm seeing are some stickers on watch. SQ or Block, Coinbase, COIN, App11, APP, Datadog, TTD. At the trade desk, we have Workday, WDAY, Pinterest, PINS, Carvana, CVNA, ET, Energy Transfer, and APO. So be aware here. Those tickers I'm seeing are speculated to be potentially part of that S&P 500 inclusion list, which may or may not drop after the bell. Our last drop, which include the inclusion of Palantir, came September 6th, so exactly 3 months prior, guys.
And great look there, Dara, because they do, this is sort of like a timed thing. Like for the year-end rebalance, and the ones that come every quarter, the year-end rebalance, they pretty much will always drop it a couple of weeks before, so that you know what's going to be going into it, and those that are following can, maybe they'll start buying and selling other things that are coming out. Tesla, only 1 minute to go in here. Tesla finally caught a revert. And obviously, it's now 5% to the upside. I think next week, we were joking about when will it get to 400. At this point, it seems like Tesla's going to get there on Tuesday. We'll see. Hey, that's the same day GameStop reports their earnings after the bell. But Tesla, absolute rocket ship, just continuing to go and go. And go. I did hear Datadog, an interesting one to be added. And it's just of those names that Adara was mentioning, the first thing that came to mind is knowing that Datadog, come on, load, man. Datadog has already been on a power move run. Another one of these all-time high breakers. It was this. And then, of course, you had DocuSign. Are you kidding me? DocuSign is still at $107. Right back up to the high of the day for DocuSign. With only about 30 seconds to go, I'm just going to keep it on Tesla here, and then we'll go over to ring the bell with Adara. But it doesn't seem to want to get 390. It'd be a heck of a lot more fun if you did. Tesla, break that 390. We'd love to see it. Just running away from everything. The bell brought to you by Firefly Neurosciences for Friday last time this week. In 3, 2, and 1, Adara, ring it. And there it is. The NASDAQ closed a point to the upside. The ES actually a little bit flat, but Tesla closing at 380, close to 389. I didn't see the exact print go off there, but what an unbelievable rally there for Tesla. It was the other way for AMD in the afternoon, as that absolutely flushed on a headline. The other thing I wanted to at least remind, we didn't get a chance to go over this one because we were looking at other things, but that DXYZ, guess what? It did make it back to the high of the day. So the Destiny ETF managing to hold a bid. It was either going to go to VWAP or high of the day. It did get into the high of the day. So great look there on DXYZ. I don't know, John, if you took that one to jump up there on that challenge with Trade the Pool. But if you did, maybe you had a shot. Big shout out to both Fabian and Romina, and a happy birthday to Fabian, celebrating his, 41st, I think Sean is saying, and we'll maybe cut that one in half. But shout out to you, Fabian. Big shout out to the boys on the Midday. The Bash brothers doing it once again. I love that idea with that SPY trade. Obviously, the long worked out today. No questions asked. A shout out to Sharif and Joe for that. You got to get a name for it. You guys should give us a name for that. Want to give a big, big thank you. Of course, this morning we had our guest Michael Noss, always doing a fantastic job. Big shout out to Brennan and, of course, Adara on the news desk. But you know what? We also have a special guest coming, and that guest has said they are going to drop some major market insights. So stay tuned. We're going to have Andrew Rader. We're going to have Adara. We're going to have Mr. Katina at the desk for the recap right now.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, we're excited. Hey, Adara, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, not too bad, not too bad. Busy day, obviously. That Tesla run at the end of the day, absolutely wild. And the NASDAQ today, wild. We had a couple movements back and forth. We had some Fed speak.
Yeah.
You went over that on the midday. So some good talk there today as well. I don't know, I was just looking at Eli Lilly here. FXI, so what was positive today? We can have a quick little look, man. The S&P 500 with the SPY finishes the day up right now, 0.25. So nice little move there for the S&P 500 and the Spider Index there, finishing the day up 0.25. The NASDAQ finishes up 0.11. We'll have to look at this on the QQQs right now, well, 0.88, I guess, right there. Getting close to that 1% move before just falling off just a little bit at the end of the day. The Russell 2000, the IWM, that again, a little bit higher. These are just all daily charts there. It doesn't look like much. We'll just go zoom in there. It looks like it tried to go a little positive there, but up 0.37 right now for the Russell as well. Gold today, GLD up 0.29 or so. Gold, a nice little movement to the upside there. This is just we have the ETFs on here, not the actual spot gold itself. Crude oil today for the downside of a move, down 1% today for crude, down 1.7% to the downside. If we're going to look at some treasuries, the TLT relatively flat today, down flat 0.12. US dollar moving around. Nikkei, Hang Seng, one up, one down on that one. The 10-year note, just looking gold, silver today. SLV relatively flat as well. So, not too much going on as far as the indexes are concerned. If we zoom this back out just to see, uranium, it's FXI. We talked about some of the Chinese names. Alibaba with a little bit of a bounce off the 200 period there today. And FXI, again, not great here on the daily chart, but trying to hold out there as we talk about more stimulus in the financial sector there for XLY. Consumer staples right there. Sorry, this is communications. Up here, XLY is this consumer discretionary, which of course, Adair, we talked about that today. Had in it Amazon and Tesla. What rocket ships today for these names?
Yeah.
Amazon on the daily just continues to go higher, and today breaks through 226. I don't have my trades loaded up here, but we had a doozy on this one today. Amazon just closing at the day's high, had a little bit of a break in the afternoon just before ramping up. But what a ramp job on Tesla. And I know you had brought us some stories there, but just a nice move higher into the close there for Tesla. Did you manage to get involved with any Lulu today? I know you were.
I did. Lulu it was not my best trading day. I can kind of pull up the chart here. Basically what happened was I continuously kind of kept getting wicked out here. So I'll pull up the chart. Honestly, there's a level that I like that I'm going to be watching for day 2 here.
Whoa.
And it is going to be that 402.60. This was like, look at this support. Then we rejected on the 15-minute. I got long here, added, got stopped out by a hair, and then it bounces. I was able to get back in. Then another case where I got kind of wicked out. So it's all good. You just got to keep going, keep pushing. It is, I will say, my reddest day since only trading, off the midday. But I'm excited to keep pushing and keep going. Another green week. So that's something. You can't trade P&L. You got to trade for the progress and for the learning in the process. Yeah. Another day, another trade.
Yeah, another trade. Yeah, good one there, Dara.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, exactly. I find for me it's hard to trade names on earnings, but I know that everybody has different styles.
Yeah.
Look at Ulta Beauty today. You want to talk about a name? Who's over there? Fabian or Ramin? Ramin. Oh yeah, Fabian's got his. It's his birthday, so he's out of here. But look at Ulta Beauty there on earnings day, up 9%. ULTA continues to move a little bit higher there as well. Look what Ulta Beauty looks like on the daily chart. We'll zoom back. We'll zoom out here just a little bit. Get out of here. There it is right there. Sort of an island by itself. Ulta Beauty continues to impress. What a day for that one, up almost 9%. This is the whole consumer discretionary that I sort of talked about. It's Ulta 9, it's Tesla 5, it's Whirlpool 4, AutoZone. Amazon, Royal, wow. Royal Caribbean as just an absolute, why isn't that switching over here? RCL, what an absolute monster that name's been, Royal Caribbean. Look at this. We talk about some of these cruise lines and what's been happening there. I always equate it to Bitcoin, and people are like, oh my God, we missed the boat. But okay, boat, cruise line, that was not meant to be there. But this has been a huge movement, almost up $100 since October. That little bottom right there, 172 up to 258. Royal Caribbean. Did we have something on the cruise lines today?
I mean, oil was down, cruise lines are up. I've
Makes
generally
sense,
noticed that. I didn't see anything specific, but I did see RCL pumping. Airlines yesterday had a great day as well. So a lot of these travel names have been doing well. If you recall, we actually had Michael Noss this morning saying Jets is the strongest ETF this year.
Right, and we looked at Jets ETF again as well for all the airlines. And again, welcome to the show. Make sure you do hit that like and that subscribe. Join us, over 500,000 about to be official with our subscriber count. So please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Be that 500,000th subscriber. I guess. That's the right way to put it.
Dope.
Okay, that'd be dope. Yeah, Home Depot here right now. So again, another one in the consumer discretionary name, another winner looking to take out highs one more time. Look at all of these charts that we're going to talk about in the next little couple minutes. Home Depot right here, 431, nice move. Look what Lowe's is doing, LOW right now. Another one trying to break through these highs in and around 280. That's trying to go. We already talked about Amazon in the space. Starbucks getting back up to the upside as we get SBUX starting to climb up a little bit here, bouncing off the 50 period. So So again, consumer discretionary continues to lead the way. All right, so I want to thank everybody that's here right now. Anybody that's part of the chat, thank you so much for staying late with us. We are waiting for Andrew Rader. When he comes on board, then hey, we're going to talk about probably the TNX. He wants to talk about the 10-year. We'll see what his next sort of call is, what he's looking at, and some different earnings plays maybe. You talked about next week, we still have ADBE.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, Adobe.
Yeah, so Adobe was a play that I want to talk about as well. December 11th coming through, so I don't even know what day that is next week. But there it comes out, looking to take out those highs as well on Adobe. This one, if you're excited about it, again, people wondered about what Adobe would be with AI. They don't like the fact that it's a continuous subscription model, and there's a lot of sort of fake images out there right now. Like if you just Google things, and that's the problem with search right here is that Google and Gemini, I still think Gemini can win in all of this. I know Sharif hates it, but at some point, everything of information that you find out there is going to be like AI written. Gemini right now is trying to get through all of that and try to figure it out. It's just like what Adobe's trying to do, get unique pictures, format them into your right sort of uses, instead of just like, if you Google something right now, like you can Google a picture of Donald Trump on the mountains with a Canadian flag right there, as we've seen got tweeted out, right? Where do you create that? You can create those things anywhere. So it's about now getting involved with the suite. So I'm interested to see what Adobe comes up with and what they talk about. So this is going to be a really interesting name coming through next week, Adobe on our radar into next week. So just the heat map really for all stocks there. I know we talked a little bit about some sectors, and I'll sort of try to break this down. But if you're going to look over here, we already talked about retail, how strong they were today. A nice little bounce back from Costco there today, up 1% and still trying to climb. This is a daily chart looking at new highs there for Costco coming through. Amazon, Home Depot, they're all working. Oracle bounces back today. As we get some of these technology services, look at all this green here. And it's all big names, right? IBM, Accenture, Oracle, Meta, Google, Netflix, Adobe. There's your Adobe there. And then something called Palantir up 6% today, as well as that continues to go higher. So there's like everything right now working. So let's go back and find out what wasn't working. What sectors were in the red today? Well, unfortunately, Adara, we talk about this. It's not going to be a nice story, but we have UNH. Of course, we have United Healthcare there. Brian Thompson, we say unfortunate incidents there yesterday. Or was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
So it was on Wednesday, which is when the conference was supposed to happen. So again, not the CEO of United Health, the CEO of United Healthcare, which is the insurance branch of United Health. There is some speculation for a lot of different reasons that his death did have to do with some, I guess, concerns that people are having with insurance coverage. So we're going to have to wait and see how that all unfolds for UNH. And it's, again, RIP to Brian Thompson and best wishes to his family.
Yeah, Cigna also to the downside as well. What was going on over there? I don't have... you guys hit into my ear, so you have to tell me if there's anything going on. Okay, so there's UNH, down that 5%. And again, it's sort of there's a little bit of a dip down. I feel like there is going to be buying opportunities, but I just like what this has sort of done is, again, turn the spotlight back on the business and on the industry, right? So you just got to be careful with all of that. I mean, we wish the best for everything, and that something like that never happens, but it did happen. So that's what's going downside there. And then again, of course, look at the blood in the streets here. This is the utilities, right? We can ask Andrew about this as well. I know he and I both really like the XLE, but over that last little while, some bleeding down here, man, happening as we go. I don't know, just we can look at any of these PEG here, anything going on that's not Constellation, a Public Service Enterprise Group. No, that's not the right one that I was thinking about, but everything Energy Transfer to the downside here as well. Duke here, NEE as we talk some nuclear. I did think we had a little bit of a run up there at the end of the day. All right, that's it for TradingView and the sector recap. What about SMR at the end of the day? So this weekly chart, not a great week here for SMR, finally turning red. I mean, this might be that one candle that you don't want to see because we've had virtually, I mean, sure, you're going to get some down weeks happening right here, but this is a weekly chart. So you got 1, 2, 3. You got about 10 weeks of straight upside, and now one red and then an ugly red candle there on the weekly for new scale. So again, still like the stock. I still think there's some hope for it. It was up 4%. At one point, though, today, it was looking like it wanted to crack lower. We wrote down on the sticky note earlier on this week, Dara, that we like this level for new scale. So we'll look at this next week in and around that 22, 23 area. Wish we were there today. but we were not. We missed out on that
It's
one.
like a double talk.
All right.
SMR.
Anything you want to add to this before we bring on a very, very important member of our community, Mr. Andrew Rader?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are a couple other earnings items I want to touch on. If you are looking for those spreadier stocks, we've had a great couple last few weeks here for spready stock earnings. We had Snowflake, CrowdStrike, all in the last few weeks, Lululemon today. And then what we're going to be getting next week, you've got Costco, you have Oracle, you have GameStop, which is not spready, but just the point is, it's actually a pretty big earnings week. If you're looking for some of these names that do make some parabolic moves on earnings, you got Designer Brands Inc., DBI, Rent the Runway. So actually, I do feel like even though it's not maybe Meg 7 material, there's a lot of earnings that are worth watching here for next week. Also C3AI. So yeah, keep an eye on those earnings.
Good, yeah. I mean, that's going to be, it sounds like another big week. I mean, we know that we're sort of getting through earnings right now, but nothing wrong with some of those names, especially because there's some of them are a little bit newer, a little bit on the lower side of the market cap. Without any further ado, this is normally called Trader Talk, but this is called T-Raider Talk today on a Friday. Let's bring him in. It's Trader Talk. Okay.
T-Raider is in
Yeah, the T-Raider's here. Ramin, you were here. Anyways, how are you doing, Andrew? First of all, Ramin says move over just a little bit to your right. That would be your left. There we go. There we go. Now we're all centered. Hey, Andrew, how's it going? One more time. Any snow in Ohio right now? We had a little bit today, but not much. It's almost all gone. What's the weather like where you're at?
We did last week, but Ohio has to ask me permission before it snows since I am the majority holder of Ohio. So far, no, it hasn't yet.
Right. So when do you think are you calling for a white Christmas, or what do you think? What do you think is going to happen over there?
Yeah, we're gonna schedule that to happen. Again, I'm just gonna have to bully some other shareholders into saying yes. But yeah,
right.
Definitely. Yep.
Get those storm clouds over there, pull them in through like the Chinese do.
Yeah. Exactly what I'm gonna do.
All right. Hey, look, I brought this up the other day live on the air when the 10-year crossed that 4.2. That was something that you had talked about live with us when you were here. It was something that you were looking for. And then you indicated to us, hey, when that happens, let's look over at the TLT. So I have it up right here on a daily. We do have a beautiful little ramp up here since the 22nd of November. Gap higher. Now we go above the 200 and above the 50 period. Any comments on this? What day did that exactly happen? Are you long? How are you playing it? What's it looking like on your end?
Yeah, so I'm actually currently long for April and January contracts. I will add 2 April contracts if it does continue. But again, my target is $100 by the end of the year within TLT. This was a name, especially with yields. We were really talking about, is this idea of, we don't want bonds anymore. We're going to go back into the market. What's going to trigger the bond market to actually start to get revived again? And we've seen a lot that there was still speculation of inflation and all this other stuff coming into the end of the year, like we said. But now we're seeing, of course, the dollar, of course, as well, starting to kind of top out, start to lose its touch. And then that's also going to play a big factor in a lot of the commodities, things like that. But overall, yeah, I am bullish TLT. I think that one's going to be good into the end of the year. Additionally, with small caps, IWM, that's going to be something we're going to keep an eye on as well. That's always been IPOs. We've been talking about that for a while now, and you've seen a lot of the earnings themes. You saw DocU, these recent kind of smaller mid-cap names get big pushes into them. But yeah, we do have some big announcements today. Last time, listen, I'm not going to toot my horn or anything, but we did talk about the October bottom quite a bit in person when I was there. So hopefully, especially with crypto, hopefully you guys took advantage of some of that.
Yeah, I mean, crypto today, I was actually going to bring that up, and thanks for talking about crypto all the time. I mean, we've talked about it here, especially when you were here. But look at the chart of Bitcoin right now, really starting to go back to the upside here, taking out that we have 104,000 as the top right here. And then what a move yesterday, Andrew. Does this kind of scare you a little bit? I mean, it does to me. We had a nice liquidation mark down there to 92,000, or depending on what exchange you're looking at. Binance has it down to 90,300 yesterday before making that move all the way back up. You worried about this at all? Are you playing crypto to the long side with Bitcoin, some of those altcoins? Are you in any ETFs? What are we thinking right now for BTC? I like it. I think it holds this 100, and I think the next stop is 150.
So this is going to be a really cool kind of next 3-4 months. So as far as what we expect seasonally, again, I don't know if you guys knew this, but of course into the end of the year, we expect a lot of optimism. The growth kind of melts up kind of style of trade out of November.
Okay.
And now that we're there, we have to really raise a question. You know, everyone's been talking about, is it the top for Bitcoin? Is it yada, yada, yada? I don't think this is the top for the crypto names, especially the big ones, but I do think you're going to get an abysmal 2 months. It's going to be very boring. It's going to trap a lot of people in, whether that, it doesn't mean dump. I don't want you to think about it like that. But what it's going to be is a very painful 2 months to trade. And then eventually you'll likely see 120 print on Bitcoin early into next year. But again, the agenda for the markets is really that we expect kind of somewhat of a blow off top here. Right. Don't get all bearish. Don't get your hopes up. Don't go shorting expecting 20% in the market. But what you do expect is, of course, this is our transition into the Raider game plan, the T-Raider game plan. If you want to share my screen real quick. So this right here is the seasonals for December. And the first week of December, we expected tech to outperform. That's exactly what we're getting. That's exactly what we saw. Again, when I mentioned small caps, I'm referencing IWM. Look at the holdings of IWM. You have a bunch of mid caps, small caps. Those style names were what were benefiting from the overall pump. Not necessarily IWM itself, but a lot of the holdings within it. Personal names that I played, especially was like Cart a while ago. I also had Hood, things like, what was it? Docu, some other softwares as well. But as far as this right here, what do we expect moving forward? After the first week into the 6th, which is right here, which is where we are. By the way, check the circle spam. I got that from Trader TV. Yeah. But as far as what we expect moving forward, expect somewhat of a blow-off style top. We expect some sort of pain, some sort of slowdown in the markets. And what we're going to have to do moving forward is start to position short. And why is that? What justifies a short other than seasonals and previous tendencies? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing quad witching. I talk about this all the time on the show. Quad witching is where trillions of dollars of options and derivatives expire. Now, a lot of people argue, well, quad witching doesn't exist anymore. It does for the indices, and it does for trillions and trillions of dollars within those indices, ETFs, etc. So what happens here is market makers have to move the markets ahead of time to balance that much money. They can't just sit there and go, oh, well, we'll see what happens. No, they have to move markets. They have to position. They have to balance their own books. And so that creates a lot of pressure in the equities market. And so what happens today marks the start of max pain. Right. 30 days before your expiration, which is your quad witching, you get the shakeout phase. That was a fake out to the downside. We already saw that. Now we are in what's called max pain. This is where you have a quote unquote pump and dump operation, where you get some sort of structure that looks like this, either up, down, pin in the middle, or you get down, up, pin in the middle somewhere. So these are the two kind of structures you can expect in the market. But again, the short side trade is going to start to appear within the next few weeks. That's my announcements. That's how you should start playing with it. As far as the timing, I'm aiming between the 12th and the 13th and beyond to position in short, guys.
I was going to say, so like how far do you give it if we're wrong? Like if we're starting to position short a little bit here, and I guess you can always play with options. If they expire worthless, whatever, maybe you punch out at a certain level. But like, what if we go up another 2 or 3% in the NASDAQ over the next couple days, and we're trying to position into the short? We could get taken out of those trades. Is there a max pain spot if we're wrong on the short? Like, where do we say, hey, maybe this thesis this time around is potentially wrong? I mean, we have a bunch of different exposures this year, of course, with President Trump coming on January 20th. That could be a reason why the markets maybe don't have the same seasonality that we're expecting. Is there a level right here that you're looking at either on the S&P or the IWM or somewhere that you would say, hey, enough is enough, maybe it's not working out?
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as what we can say regarding the kind of what is the max top, how do we go around this? When I talk a lot about timing, I really do emphasize that timing is the hardest part about trading. You guys know, if you've watched me on the show here before, I'm very specific with the dates I give, with the timings I give, because the options market gives that information to me. And I want to be as specific as I can, because if I can time the markets properly, I get good position power, and I also get a good quick gain. And so that's ultimately what you want to do. You don't want to sit in max pain for long. So what I would recommend is looking at something like this. If you kind of share my screen real quick. This right here is the options chain. So right here, we have a big level. This is called an ascending call wall. And this makes a liquidity attraction to the end. So speaking technically, we actually are likely to go to 615. So 615 is likely that area where it's going to be you either need to be short or you're not at all, or you're just going to get out of the markets. So that 615 is really the attraction. Will we get there? That's debatable. But like I said, into that 610, 615, which is the attraction, you can expect some sort of short position to be the better one. Now, I say this because this is where the imbalance lies. This is the biggest call wall on the chain, over 140,000 open interest for the 12/20 expiration. But again, the move is going to happen beforehand. It's not really going to happen after. So this is going to be some sort of trade you guys are going to want to look at. And when I say when do I get wrong, how do I position for the indices is I don't actually trade the indices. I'm not trading SPY. I'm not trading QQQ. I'm not trading IWM necessarily. What I like to do is position into individual names that give me more position power. For example, moving forward, you mentioned XLU. This could be our segue to that. If we want long exposure, but we're too scared to short, or we don't believe the risk reward in tech is good because it's only to 615, let's go long defensives, because when the market starts to slow down with the seasonals here in the next week, you will start to see those defensives pop.
Right.
And that's going to be position power where you keep long side exposure, but you're also shielding against any drawdown. And within that drawdown, you short overblown names like Hood, and some other names that ran too far this week. Those names are likely going to be the ones that get rotated out of first profit taking, first ones to sell. So that's what's going to happen, and that can give you a lot of position power. That's what I recommend with shorting. Of course, a lot of people just love to short top of the market. They time it poorly, when in reality, the ticker and the timing matters, because, again, if you're shorting the right ticker, it can, in a way, offer better protection.
I like that. I mean, look for the names that have sort of been a little bit blowout tops here. We have another one in Palantir. I mean, I think that has a little bit of a room to the downside as well. I don't know how often you look at the VIX, but this is another indicator for me that maybe we're starting to feel some downside pressure as well, because this is the line right here where we're at today, Andrew. We're at 1275. This is a weekly chart. So we basically haven't broke below this. I'm going all the way back to April of 19. And if we zoom back out a little bit, even more than that, even here 18s, we don't even get lower than this until January of 2018 on the VIX as we zoom sort of in and about here. But I think this is an awesome spot here. And this is another way to play what you were talking about. Rather than the indexes, you could simply go long on volatility. Go long down here on the VIX. I think you got some decent support levels. So there's an idea from me to you, Andrew. Long on the VIX on some nice support levels. So that could be something definitely that we want to look at over here. All right, you just gave us a little bit there of an idea of sort of what you're thinking about right now, probably all over the radar report. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? How's that been going for you?
It's actually been going really well. In case you guys don't know, I do the radar report. That's just my way of kind of contributing to this trading community. It's a perspective. My lower radar roar, quick background. I was taught by professional traders, very professional people like Sean, like Neil, like all the people at Trader TV. These guys taught me in the Bay Area, and that's how I actually learned all my skills. So I'm very young. I'm almost 21 now. Shout out! Woo! I get a horizontal driver's license now for you guys in the U.S. I've had a vertical one for my whole life. But as far as what you can expect, I post all my reports, my professional ideas, my theses on there, etc. But as far as trades moving forward, one that I would recommend, one big one that I'm looking at, is a slowdown in home builders to the upside. We actually believe, now let me correct that, the long trade to the upside in home builders, but expect this to start to slow down in the bottom and out. I believe defensives, XLU, home builders, these names are going to get a big boost into the end of the year, throughout January as well. So home builders, DHI, of course, LEN, and then there's some other ones you could look at.
Right.
But the ETF for that is ITB or XHB, I believe. Yep. So those are the two you can look at.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you for being here with us today. I wanted to ask quickly if there's any earnings plays you're looking at. I saw you posted a couple weeks ago that you did well with names like TGT, DE, and ROST. I mean, congrats on that. It was like the height of the retail earnings season. But I was just saying to Sean, we do have quite a few earnings coming up heading into next week and also the end of 2024. Is there anything that's on your mind that you have any ideas about right now?
As far as earnings, no, I don't think so. As far as the previous earnings, I believe those had a lot more opportunity because we were in, again, if you want to do earnings, guys, there are timings to when there's beats. You'll actually be surprised that, in September, why was there, there was very few huge movers like we're seeing, this last earnings seasons. I mean, we saw Target, we saw all these huge misses, these huge beats, CRM, all these guys moving huge. So there's timing to it, especially with the expectations of the market. One of the best timings for, of course, a lot lot of the earnings season is out of October, because that's when a lot of the expectations of earnings are so beat down, right? You have that Q4 kind of, everything's bad, bearish, all this stuff. And then when you get that kind of beat, that's when a lot of people are looking to reallocate, reposition for the end of the year. But no, I am not positioning into any earnings right now. Specifically, one of the ones I did grab that I did sell today was, for those that were a part of the report, Alta. I had the 13th expiration calls on that from 2 weeks ago. So Alta was my only position, but that was a more expensive contract. And no, I don't think any earnings move forward for me.
Also, we have a question here from Ian Rispetto here at the Super Chat. Thank you so much to Ian, saying, can you ask Andrew which of the companies eligible he thinks will be included today in the S&P 500? SQ, Coin, VRT, WDAY, and it's also, those are the ones mentioned in the Super Chat, but I've also seen here a couple other companies mentioned: APP, DDOG, TTD, Pinterest, Carvana. There's quite a few names here that could potentially be named.
I think it's definitely one of the software names, or like financial companies like SQ is definitely going to be added. But I have no idea. I'm not betting on it. I don't have any trades placed on it. But I would say definitely one of the software names. I think that's been a big theme for the last. I think what got added. I think Adobe got added last time, or Intel. Was it Intel?
Pinterest,
No, Intel got
Palantir.
kicked out, right?
Yeah, Palantir.
Palantir, that's right. Palantir. So that's one of the big themes. So I think it's definitely going to be one of the software or financial companies like Square.
So all the witching, thank you, Andrew, for all of that. Thanks to Dara as well for those questions. So we're going to have you back. Mark this down on your calendar. December 20th. That is 2 Fridays from now, and that is our quad witching. So on December 20th, if you're not rolling around in too much cash at that time, we will be asking you to come back on, and we'll discuss to see what happened. December 20th is the quad witching. We'll see if there's any sort of last-minute moves, and you probably want to watch our show as well, because we show those imbalances, and they are just as you're promising. They're insane. Like we'll go maybe like 3 or 4 million shares will be there for like Nvidia today, and then boom, on the 20th there'll be like 30 million, and it's super exciting. I get sort of all like going just thinking about it, because we've made a lot of money trying to trade some of those imbalances, because you can't stop it, right? The market on closed trades will be there. There'll be some back and forth, and I want to thank you for pointing that out to everybody as well. Look, I like that XHB call. That's the home builders, of course, and you're right with that ETF XHB. If you come over to my screen right now, just want to show everybody what it looks like. Still some room to run on this. So, I mean, if you guys are looking for something that is not clearing through the top, this is a possible one there, playing off of the rates, of course, and we'll figure out where it goes. But good talk there from yourself, Andrew. And then, you know what we talked about earlier today? I don't know if you've seen the insurance ETF here, KIE, but this name has been like pretty hot fire here all year, all the way to the upside, and now finally pulling back a little bit just to get a little more exposure. If you wanted something in the financials, we talked about that a little bit. KIE just pulling back the last couple days, but really heated up there over the last month. But hey, man, look. What a big trade we've had, Andrew, over the last month or so since the election. It was actually a month yesterday, wasn't it? November 5th, I guess, was that first day. Today, yeah. November 6th. So I think that's another reason, Andrew, why potentially this market is just so heated. A lot of people front-running that January 20th when he's going to be coming into office. And that's why you and I talk about XLE. I just want to get your opinion on that real quick before we let you go. We're just over time now. XLE, for me, look at this, falling right back in. And that's what happens when we're means here. You know, we got to get the heck out of here. But it fell right back in for me, Andrew, right into this 200 period moving average. I still like it. I think energy's getting beat up here a little bit. Any opinions on XLE? Are we selling? Are we buying? Are we holding fort here?
Yeah, so a lot of what I've actually been targeting, one of the bigger bullish trades I'm in right now is actually Solar's, EMPH. We discussed this one.
Right.
I'm still looking for this one to the long side. As far as the energy trade, I think because it is so tied to Trump, that's why it's such a hard trade right now. It is very crowded. And I think that's going to take something more of a January, February type look. So I don't think it's going to be in play for December at least. Right. But again, the other defensives, I think they got beat down a lot. XLU selling off on lower volume, et cetera. I think these home builders, the defensives like XLU, a lot of the XLP names, which have been rallying. I mean, just look at Costco over the last few days. Right. These names are the ones starting to pick up. So as this market starts to pull back, as it starts to slow down into that kind of mid-December period, which we are in right now, I think definitely looking into defensives for long exposure and continuing to look at IPO names. Recent IPO names have been the fire of the year. I've made more money on recent IPO names. Even, I think I mentioned this on social media, PRMB. I'm currently in this one up about, I think, 70 or 80% as of the close today. So this is a Canadian water bottle company. Very good company, I'm sure. But
or not.
They're expecting a lot of those IPO names to do well. So those are the two big looks. I would look for anyone who's screened for stocks. Again, a lot of the time with markets and trades, guys, is don't just show up to trade anything. Try to find something that you're going to trade and that you can find quality in. One of my biggest trades of the year was crypto. If you guys have seen my social media, I put a lot of money into crypto. That thing went, I wasn't expecting 300% in as fast as it was. But even this year as well, technology. A lot of my big trades came out of that October bottom, and they're still carrying me into this period. Even those losses, they just aren't even compared to some of those winners I've had. So definitely be looking at some of these bigger themes. If you don't know the theme, don't trade. It's that simple. And that's what I'm going to do moving forward.
Hey, man, it's a bull market, and we always talk about that live every day. I only traded 4 names today. They have to have catalysts, right? Without catalysts, without reason, there is no point to trade it. Look, Andrew, man, a lot of respect to you. You talked about being just turning 21. Again, obviously, happy birthday, or soon to be 21. Or are you 21?
No, not yet. My birthday's in March, so sadly we'll have to see the market dump before then. But hopefully it'll be a buy by the time I turn 21.
Perfect. There you go. So it's Andrew Rader. Look, everyone can find you. Your socials are right up there. Make sure you check this guy out. Thank you so much, Andrew. The start, as you've called it, the start of Max Payne starts in and around now. Let's wait to figure that out. We'll see you again, hopefully, on December 20th, and we'll discuss everything that's been going on. Thank you, Andrew. And again, congratulations
Bye, guys.
on some of those trades. That's Raider Talk. There we go. I called it Raider Talk there at the end of the day. But you know what? We have something that we call right now. It's called Roll Call.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
So let's see who stayed with us late so far here today. It is 4:33, so we're going to be real quick on this one as Adara is now studying who is here with us. And we're just going to say what's up to everybody right now. John Womack is in the building. Damien, thank you so much for joining us one more time here today. Fernando, Rivian Millionaire. Have you made that million on Rivian yet? All right, so there it is. Adara's here. Hey, what's up, Dara? Yeah, he said PRNB, I believe, as well. What's up to Video News? Bears vs. Bulls is here. Bilbo Bag Holder. That's hilarious. I really like that. Maybe I think the next thing is Lord of the Rings. I got to get my kids into Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, there's someone else in here like Trixie Hobbitry. Like there's a couple really funny.
The movies are too long,
LOTR
but isn't there that series? But I don't think the series did that well.
No, the series, they made a second season, but honestly, the movies are, I think the movies are pretty good, and I don't really know what's happening. So
my kids right now, their attention span is not that long. Like it has to be like that kind of 2 to 2.5, 3 hour movie.
You have to have time to sit there for them too.
Well,
like have like
so
a day off,
series.
watch the whole thing.
And now they watch YouTube, like little 10-minute like little things. And
so their attention spans are even smaller.
Oh my God. All right, what's up, Dewey? Joseph Brown is here. DA is here. Nakash is here. Thank you so much. Viper Trader. Oh, happy Friday, he says. Mary S. Lyman, what's up? Michelle Muir says, thanks, Raider Trader. Yeah, that is right for sure. The Real Tech Geek, Sebastian, Rami Rahim. Anybody catching your eye right now?
Yeah, we got Asa Comer. We have Crazy Carl. I love that. Crypto Trucker. I wonder what things you're interested in. We have Brian Blackwelder. We have the Real Tech Geek. We got JB, Dale Bigums. We have Genius Tongues, Pro Day Trader, Alex, aka Boneless. We got Sebastian, Jesse Aragon. We have John Womack, Desi. We have You're a Huckleberry, Rivian Millionaire, Escape Planet, Bebop 5000, Bilal Jer, Frederick, JB. So many people here in the chat, guys. Thank you.
Everybody, thank you so much for another great week. We finished the week on a high note with our trading at the end of the day, but unfortunately, the NASDAQ and some of these exchanges, roughly remain flat, but we did have a little bit of a push into the downside there. Again, thanks to Dara. Look, Tesla ripping, man. Amazon, a lot of new highs. Apple starting to go higher. We'll have to watch out for NVIDIA that it took a little bit of a move down, as did AMD. Look, these are all going to be on our mind, as will crypto. Good luck over the weekend to everybody. Happy birthday to Fabian. One more time. We say a big one to him. Thank you so much to Ramin, who's right there. Thank you so much to Sharif, Joseph today, of course, yourself, Adara, Neil, Brendan, Andre, everybody, Obi, who's always kicking around. Thanks, Brankles. Thanks to everybody that continues to help us out and make this show the best on the web. So, all right, from everybody here again, Adara, potato, French fries. We'll think of something else on that as well. Have a great weekend, and we'll see everybody back here on Monday. Ciao.
See you guys.